Welcome back again to our world of darkness. Quick recap from last time. Our players were holed up in the Polaris Broadcasting House when two mysterious men came a-knocking, and they armed themselves with various tools and kitchen implements, including but not limited to a wrench and... what was it you had?
I had a cake, sure.
Yeah, a cake. So...
I imagine he's still politely holding it in his lap.
They were then greeted by Alpheus, a fellow mage who had come to collect them and teach them the ways of being a mage. He guessed the correct passcode to get in the back door, and things almost went off without a hitch, except they were dragged off to meet with another mage at the Whiskey Room, a bar in downtown Burlington, named Helena. And after she agreed to allow them to go, they were taken to a small farmhouse in the middle of nowhere where most of them probably thought they were going to die. And while inside, Alpheus has been explaining to them how magic works, while Lance has been explaining some very, very dry, very boring RPG rules. We ended last session with you guys taking a break while Alpheus prepared his second presentation, Mage Society.
And Zach wanted to die inside.
And so that is where we will pick up.
Oh, yeah.
You have all had time to rest. You guys could take a nap if you wished. He gives you a couple hours to pull yourselves together and process all the new information that you had learned.
Get my willpower back.
Timeshare presentation coming up.
And he calls you all back down to the living room. Once again, your favorite drinks have been placed out for you. And
It's morning at this point, right?
yeah.
I will actually drink it this time because if he was going to kill us, he would not have gone to this much trouble to give us, like, lecture hall style classes. So,
At this point, we're in.
yeah. I'm confident at this point I'm not going to die because he wants to kill me right now.
I have like
A
the
nice cup of
perfect
coffee.
cup of grape juice. Not too sugary like they make it, but like, I'm just like,
My grandma used to make homemade grape juice. Mm.
So did my grandma.
Concord grapes.
Except we found some that were like 30 years old and
And that's not
she
grape
was still
juice anymore?
drinking. No,
That's
it's not
called
grape
wine.
juice. And my grandma was just like, it's lovely.
I'm sure it is, Grandma!
After 2 glasses, everything's lovely.
So, as you guys file into the room, there is a new drawing on the chalkboard. It is a pentagram with a diamond, so a sideways square, inside of it.
So now we're in a cult.
Yup.
And so as you guys come in, Alpheus stands up. He's like, all right, I hope you all are feeling refreshed, rejuvenated. Your brains hurt a little bit less.
Moderately.
Now, for the fun part. Mages, being humans, have the incessant need to organize everything into structure and hierarchies and to politic with each other. And as newly awakened, we feel it would be best to teach you a little bit about the society you're about to be thrown into before we just throw you to the wolves.
Literally and
Do
metaphorically.
we have to join the society?
No.
But
But also kind of.
There's a lot of advantages. And you'll last a lot longer if you do. So,
Fair enough.
oh, I forgot. There's one other thing there were two other things that are drawn up on the board. There's a pyramid and like a big squiggly ball of squiggliness.
we're about to enter a pyramid scheme.
All mages awaken to a watchtower, which teaches you about the nature of magic. However, the watchtower does not necessarily teach you what you should do with your magic. Among the awakened, there are 3 groups, more or less. The first group, the one that I am a part of, that Helena was a part of, the one that is not aligned with, how did you put them, the blue denim, the blue jean cult, is this one, and he points to the pentagram with the diamond inside of it. We call this the Pentacle. The Pentacle are mages who are... We are dedicated to studying magic and learning its mysteries and working to free ourselves and others from the lie of the fallen world. But we are not the only group of mages out there. There's also, and he points to the pyramid, the Seers of the Throne. In the story that they tell about Atlantis, there were 10 people who climbed to the top of the celestial ladder that they had built and claimed for themselves the power of gods. These are the creators of the lie. These are the ones who broke reality to ensure that no one else could use magic and follow them. They are called the Exarchs. Their entire goal is to hoard their power and prevent the rest of humanity from ever rising to the point where we could challenge them.
Manifest destiny.
Sort of. A little more personal than that. But the Exarchs are the custodians of the lie. They created the fallen world. They created the laws and work to enforce them. Some awakened feel that they are better off serving the Exarchs as opposed to fighting them. And in return, they're promised power and authority and wealth in the fallen world as long as they help maintain that lie. These are the Seers of the Throne. Questions, comments, concerns?
So they're more like pets instead of food.
More like...
Collaborators.
Yeah, collaborators is a good word. They work on behalf of the Exarchs here in the fallen world to keep humanity down.
So they've
Yeah, they are obedient pets.
cabbage. Not
You've been doing it
cabbage.
for 3 years.
I know. So, essentially, these people have sold themselves out for wealth and power or whatever in the fallen world.
Yep.
So they're the clear bad guys.
One way to look at it.
Cute.
From our point of view, yes. They would tell you that, and they've told us before, that they've merely decided to join the winning side since they've functionally already won. But these are the same people who ensure that humanity is never able to come together into anything greater than the fragmented, bickering world that we live in.
I feel like this much is just a different version of that whole history repeating itself in different ways cycle. I am familiar with what this looks like, just this is a much larger scale.
So, yes, those of us who view ourselves as members of the Pentacle, we are opposed to the Seers of the Throne because they seek to stop mages from awakening and they try to keep all of us chained by the lie. There is a third group, although group is probably a bit too generous of a word for them. These are mages who, for various reasons, don't fall into the rest of the paradigm. There are some subgroups in there. Some that worship the abyss and seek to bring it into the real world.
Oh, that seems great.
Like Cthulhu.
And there are those that are often called banishers. These are mages who have decided that magic is too dangerous, or they were too damaged by their own awakening, and they seek to destroy magic anywhere they can find it, including killing anyone who uses magic.
Yikes.
Ah.
That's
That seems
So,
problematic
fanatics.
to our health.
problematic
Yes.
for their cause.
I have a question that I probably should have asked earlier.
Uh-huh.
So, could anybody be a mage? It just depends on what experiences you end up happening to have, or is
Are they
it only a
selected?
certain select group of people who happen to have like the genetic makeup to manipulate magic?
If we knew that answer, things would be a lot simpler. We don't know why people awaken. There are lots of mages who have tried to figure it out. They've tried different ways of forcing awakenings or tried to study all the mages and figure out what the correlation is, and the answer is we don't have one.
So how is it that one side of y'all are trying to, like, push for the awakening when you don't know how awakening happens, and one group is trying to keep people from awakening?
That's a great question. We try as best as we can, and we try to encourage it in as many ways as we can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
What's that look like?
Were we accidents?
We'll get to that. Most awakenings are accidents.
It felt
So it
like
has
an
to be
accident.
most likely self-imposed random.
Some mages seek to create cults, secret societies, or other groups that slowly teach sleepers, as we call them, about the truth of reality and about the watchtowers and the supernal and magic. Some people try to throw magic directly in their face and sort of shock them into an awakening. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
So y'all just got a bunch of folks out here, like, waiting to get their letter from Hogwarts, sorely disappointed. That's very unfortunate.
It's
I was just out fishing with my friend, and bam, here we are.
Huh. We
It-
played D&D.
it's a bit of a sore point between various factions what the proper way to go about it is.
So did the other guys figure out, like, I know we don't necessarily know how to...
If
Encourage
they knew
awakenings.
how to prevent people from awakening, we assume that no one else would ever awaken. The fact that awakening still happens in spite of the exarchs existing means that however it works, they aren't able to control it.
They don't really have a suppression method.
Right, short of if they find out you're awakening, killing you. But usually what happens is they try to recruit you. Which was part of the reason that several of us were keen to get a hold of you as soon as we did.
So is there a group or a faction out there that's just trying to encourage people that happen to awaken, since none of you guys know how to suppress it or how to encourage it, to just use their magic responsibly once they're awakened?
Mm-hmm.
Who are those guys?
The pentacle. Parts of it.
That's convenient.
Parts of
So, now that you know that there are other mages, now I will tell you about the pentacle, since it is my assumption that you're going to join us.
Oh.
The pentacle is a very nice way of saying that there are 5 different factions who agree to work together and get along.
Definitely just keep going.
Each of these factions has their own beliefs, their own ideologies, their own view on how you should use magic, and the only thing that really keeps us together is the fact that we don't disagree with each other as much as we disagree with everyone else.
How encouraging.
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That being said,
Yeah.
before we get into all the politics of it, pentacle societies, and for all our intents and purposes, mage societies, since you don't seem like the type who want to sell out your souls to the jailers of humanity, our society is organized into what are called conciliums. This is basically that in different parts of the world, there is some level of hierarchy to organize mages so that they're not constantly at each other's throats, and so they can follow the agreed upon laws. Groups of mages tend to congregate in what is called a cabal. That's like your close-knit, direct friends, family members, that sort of thing.
So, like, if we all actually stuck together, we could be a cabal.
Mhm.
And I guess maybe you, because we don't really know you.
I don't really know you, so maybe I'll start my own.
Never asked.
For example, Helena, who you met, is considered the leader of a cabal in downtown Burlington called the Whiskey Room Wards. Not a name I would have picked, but it's a name they picked.
That
Let me guess.
actually
Necromancer?
makes it less appealing.
No.
Oh. I thought with the name choice it would. was close.
Succubus.
Yeah, what's her deal?
I asked in a platonic way.
Yeah, totally.
Totally platonic, non-romantic, non-sexual way. What's her deal?
Other than being a Karen.
I think she was a little too young to be a Karen.
You're never too young to be a Karen. It's an energy.
It's an energy.
Having a sister named Karen who's a Karen,
That your sister named Karen, who is a Karen.
What's her deal? As in, what kind of magic she uses? Or
Tingle.
she awoken as a Mastigos. These are those who awaken to the Watchtower of the Iron Gauntlet. From what I've had explained to me, it's kind of like a trial by fire sort of a thing. You face off against all the demons from your own soul, and if you pass through to the Watchtower, you are able to rise above them, and now you can command those same demons. They typically specialize in magic of the mind and magic of space.
Evil Charles Xavier.
That really
That's
tracks
just Magneto.
with every like checkbox thing I have on Karen possibly developing supernatural abilities. That ticks all of the boxes.
Developing my
There's also a
superpower.
long-standing historical grudge between Obramos and Mastigos. So the fact that you don't particularly like her does not shock me.
That was a happy accident.
So cabals are organized into groups because these are the mages that they trust, and they typically share resources, and they tend to have similar goals, or at least they know each other and trust each other enough that they watch out for each other.
Trauma.
Sure, that's definitely a part of it. Cabals are local. They're small groups. However, every mage has the option, if they wish, to join one of the 5 orders. These are the more political, high-level. This is where people get their ideas about how they should use magic and what are appropriate methods and what aren't appropriate methods. And if you join the Concilium, you will absolutely be approached by at least one of them, if not multiple, to try and recruit you, because new blood's always good.
Can you be a member of the Pentacle without being a member of the Concilium?
Without being a member of the Concilium? No.
Okay.
All Pentacle mages agree to abide by the Concilium. It's not really a strict set of rules. It's more like, instead of every mage out for themselves and whoever has the biggest stick wins, there's an established set of structures and rules. The Concilium passes laws that govern which cabals have access to which resources, and it keeps everyone from being at each other's throats.
What are the 5 Conciliums?
So the 5 orders, these are bigger than just a concilium. The concilium is a local area. Our concilium is centered around Lake Champlain. Orders can be worldwide. They have local chapters, if you will. But the ideology and the organization can be worldwide. 4 of the orders are part of what we call the Diamond, because each one of them claims to be a descendant or somehow related to an ancient Atlantean organization. These are the Silver Ladder, the Adamantine Arrow, the Guardians of the Veil, and the Mysterium. As he's saying this, he writes each one up on the board. The 5th group of the Pentacle is not a member of the Diamond, but does work with them. We are called the Free Council. He writes that up on the board.
Okay.
We don't view ourselves as being a part of the Atlantean tradition. We're something new. This is my own bias speaking, but a lot of the Atlantean traditions are stuck in their ways, and they're seeking to recapture lost glory. The Free Council believes that humanity can and should innovate, and that it is possible to create new things that they didn't have in Atlantis, as opposed to just trying to recapture what they had previously.
Okay, so you got player Danny Silver Ladder, Adamantine Arrow,
Guardians of the Veil.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yep.
And the Mysterium.
the Mysterium.
Is a cool name.
Stereo.
I think I was part of the Freehold, right? My last game?
The Free Council, yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
The reason that we are separate but allied is about 200 or so years ago, there was the Diamond, and there were lots of what we call nameless orders. These are very small organizations that they're so small and so scattered, and they don't really have a big presence. They're their own little tiny thing. The Seers of the Throne approached all of the nameless orders they could find and offered to ally with them to destroy the Diamond. But instead of helping them, we went to the Diamond and warned them of what the Seers were trying to do, and we joined with the Diamond to stop the Seers. Hence why we are allied with them, but sort of a separate part of it. The Free Council does have its own form of governance. We call it the Assembly. But around here, the Assembly isn't powerful enough to replace or be a substitute for the Concilium, so we still generally follow Concilium rules. I can answer some of your questions about the orders, but I am a little biased towards them, I've been told.
Give us a brief rundown.
The Silver Ladder view themselves as priests, judges, orators. They advocate for humanity's birthright to magic, and they seek to try and spread awakening and unite everyone. They kind of view themselves as the leaders and administrators of the Diamond. Helena is a member of the Silver Ladder. The Adamantine Arrow view themselves as the soldiers and warriors of awakened society. They claim to come from a group called the Talons of the Dragon, that was the army of old Atlantis. They believe that life is about conflict, about testing yourself and growing stronger or learning from your failures. And they believe that magic should be used to protect other mages from the threats of both the fallen and the supernatural. The Guardians of the Veil are sort of the secret police, or the Stasi, if you will, of Mage Society. They do look for traitors, infiltrators, and enemies within, but they also seek to prevent those they view as unworthy from gaining power or growing in knowledge of magic. They have a controversial role with the other orders. The Mysterium act as a sort of group of scholars and collegiates and librarians. They try to... You could think of them part Indiana Jones, part... Actually, Indiana Jones, it works. They go out and find ancient Atlantean relics or strange magical sites, and they try and catalog them, study them. They're also known for locking away as much knowledge as they can and only trading it to those they deem worthy.
They sound kind of cool until then.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Free Council.
Pay the most. Worthy or pay the most?
Worthy, whatever that means to the current curator you're dealing with.
You're very worthy as a thousands of dollars.
I can say, and I would get in trouble if I didn't point out, all of the orders do have their flaws, but they also have their strengths. And in many ways it comes down... We believe that it really would come down to where you feel like you best fit and how you want to use magic the most. Most cabals are made up of members of different orders. But that is... Orders also give you access to their own secret knowledge and techniques and their own abilities that they keep for themselves. So it's also... Picking an order is a big deal, because switching orders, unless you're very new and haven't really been initiated yet, is frowned upon, and most people distrust anyone who's going to switch orders. You do not have to join an order. There are those called apostates that are members of the Concilium, viewed as members of the Pentacle, but are not aligned to any order. You do, however, lose out on access to the order's resources, their status, their organization, and all of those things. So it is a choice up to you, but I can promise you all 5 orders will probably try recruiting you at some point.
Well, one of them already tried, so. Helen,
That wasn't recruiting you.
Oh, okay.
You'll know when they try and recruit
She
you.
was deciding if she needed to
I was
kill
gonna say
us.
someone is trying.
She was deciding if she wanted to act as your guide to awaken society and curry favor with you.
But you are trying to recruit us.
I'm trying to recruit you? No.
No?
I mean, I want, assuming you don't mean other than to just not join the crazy people or the people who want to, keep the world a terrible place. Other than that, like, yes, I want to recruit you away from those people, but other than that, no, I am not trying to specifically recruit you to any organization.
But it benefits the conciliums to have more members and things.
Yeah,
like
more
that.
mages is never a bad thing, and
Makes sense.
my cabal specifically tries to bring in newcomers and help them navigate things wherever possible.
So what problems have you run into with that in the past?
With navigating and recruiting people?
Yeah, as far as, more with once you have awakened members that you're bringing in, how is it that you put them on the right track, and what goes wrong if they end up...
I try to give as unbiased presentations and information as I can. We make it clear that our cabal's support is not contingent upon you joining a specific group or doing anything other than, don't be the assholes and don't be the crazy people. That's about it.
That seems pretty
It's
good.
also, I would be lying if I didn't say that there are advantages for us. We get to learn more about the newest members of the cabal. We have a chance to sort of provide the initial indoctrination into how things work, which means we can make sure that it's viewed in the way that we think is best. But our leader's goal is to facilitate more awakened and help you find a place that you feel like is where you fit best.
That sounds largely like a good thing to do.
How do they try to recruit you? Are there gift baskets?
Well, that
Gift
depends.
certificates.
If you're going to do it the way that we usually try and organize it, in a few days you'll be presented to the Concilium Council, and they will agree to allow you into the Concilium. You'll agree not to, that you're not evil spies and that you're not going to try and destroy the Concilium. Is generally the way that goes. And then we organize essentially a recruiting meeting. Each order will send a representative, they'll give you their spiel, and then what happens from there is up to you. I can tell you that I myself am a libertine. I'm a member of the Free Council, but we do have members from every order in our cabal.
There's no gift.
Is it advantageous to have different order members in your cabal?
It can be. It depends on your choices and what a cabal is trying to do. Sometimes it's easy if you have a cabal that's just one order. It's very clear what your goals are. There's never going to be conflicts between what the order requires of you. You can think of the order as sort of your job, and your cabal is sort of your roommates or your friends, your close-knit network. So sometimes the order will have assignments for you to further the order's goals. They try, most orders do a pretty good job of not asking you to do things that would directly harm your cabal, since if push comes to shove, most people are going to pick the cabal over the orders, and having a group of close-knit people that you can trust is valuable to mages. But that's not to say that they won't also have orders that might cause some level of conflict. So you avoid that. Makes it simpler what your cabal is focusing on, but you also lose out on the skills or the knowledge that members of other orders bring.
You said you're on the council?
Yes, I am a member of the Free Council.
The Free Council, okay.
Yeah.
And I assume the Free Council has a group of people that are the council.
The Concilium has a ruling council. So the Concilium has
How many people?
There are 4. Well, 5 technically.
Are they like, voted in?
Not really. What you will learn is that the Diamond is not big on democracy. They have their reasons for this that basically boil down to the wiser you are, and the more you know about magic and such things, the more qualified you are for deciding what would be for the greater good. The downside of that being, if you haven't climbed your way up the totem pole, you don't really have a lot of say in things. My organization has been trying for a very long time to bring the Concilium and the Diamond around to being more open to democracy, but they have proven surprisingly resistant.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, they get to power. Who's to... You can't challenge them if they have some evil intent they want to push through.
There are ways to challenge them. It's not a total... This Concilium, at least, is not a total tyrannical government. But they do... The Concilium puts a lot of merit and a lot of importance on your own abilities, your own merits, and your knowledge. They do not believe that a mage should be put in position of power simply because lots of other mages like them. That is sometimes what it comes down to, but at least according to their espoused beliefs, that's not how it works. There is a singular ruler of the Concilium who has the final say in how things go, called the Hierarch. Our current Hierarch is a former member of the Free Council, although to become Hierarch he had to agree to no longer officially be a member. His name is Locke. And there is a ruling council of 4 other mages. The ruling council has 1 mage from each path to try and represent a balanced view of things. They are chosen by the Hierarch. They do have a way to overrule a Hierarch's decision, but it's a lengthy process and it doesn't happen very often. So that is sort of the ultimate authority that makes the decisions. If you have legal problems or if you get into trouble or other things, this is who you would go appeal to. But that is different than the leaders of the orders. Those are not necessarily the same. You have the government and then you have your job.
I don't even understand our own government.
Well, on the bright side, it's a lot easier when you're only looking at like 150 people.
True.
That's fair. So we have these shadow names and all of that stuff. How do you live your life? Is it completely in the shadow name? Do you have any connection to what you were before you were awakened?
Is there a
Do
salary?
you have a physical job?
I do. I do
Healthcare.
not have a physical... Well,
Like, everyday mortal person job?
I do not. Some mages do. Some mages cut all ties and live only in the shadow. Most mages find that it is the healthiest to keep a balance of both.
How can you do one and keep the people who would use like your name or things like that? How do you have your own prior life and
Well,
not risk?
Because you only have to worry about... You only have to use the shadow name and embody that when you're dealing with mages and mage society. There's only 150 of us. You're going to figure out pretty fast if you work with a mage or not.
Well, that's fair, but like you said that bad things can happen if they know our names because there's some kind of a connection thing there.
Yes. There is a principle called sympathetic magic, where things that are connected to you... I'm not the best to talk about this. If you really want an actual understanding, I can see if we can bring in one of the mages who actually specialize in this in my cabal. I am not one of them. But as I understand it, everything has connections. Everything is connected to each other. And if I have... Imagine a web of string connecting all of us, of rope connecting all of us. If I can find a rope that connects to you and it's strong enough, I can yank on that rope and you will feel it. That's what sympathy does. One of the strongest of those links is going to be the name of who you are, your actual given name. So it's a risk when dealing with mages that you don't fully trust to give them that actual name, because it would give them the ability to affect you from greater distances, and it would enhance their ability to affect you with some of their magic because they have that. It would be no different, though, than if they got some of your hair or your blood or other things that were symbolically connected to you. So it's not like the end-all be-all, the most dangerous thing. It's just you don't really want to open that can of worms just in case. And if I tell you my real name, I never know who you might tell that to. You never know how far down the grapevine it could get.
That's one of the reasons I asked, though, because, like, unless most of the other mages are like him, it's not like they don't have Google and can't find out stuff about our faces and our real names.
You'll find that surprisingly difficult to do for mages.
Really?
Not only, there's some level of mystical protection, but also the Concilium and the orders that you can join they put safeguards in place to keep their members from having to worry about that. So it's a combination of both mundane and I believe the Guardians have some hacker who can make you disappear off of the face of the internet or something. So it's a combination of that and, more mystical ways of protecting yourself.
So as of now, we just take it on faith. It will be okay.
Right. And it's more of, we wouldn't want you to give out your name unknowingly, not understanding the power it could give someone. There are mages who give out their real names to other people. It's just, we wouldn't, as you were newly awakened, it would be very easy for people to take advantage of your lack of knowledge to gain that sort of leverage over you.
That makes sense.
Gotcha.
I always worry when you have that facial expression.
So we all take up the name Bob, and it'd be harder for them to distinguish.
You are not the first person to throw that idea out. I once knew a mage who said that his shadow name was Magnificent the Red, and his real name was supposed to be Bob Arnold or something. Bob Arnold was actually a shadow name, and he just called himself Magnificent the Red to throw people off the trail. It was a whole shtick. Some mages get paranoid. But
Can't imagine why. It's not like there are a bunch of secret societies out there having weird fights in and amongst themselves that we've never seen before.
So you said 150 people,
give or take.
but what is that area limited to?
It is
How many majors are there worldwide?
We don't know. Not all of the different chapters, if you will, are great at communicating with each other. We also don't know because we're not sure how many are seers or how many are banishers, how many traffic with the abyss. Like, we don't always know about the other organizations.
Estimate.
Well, if there's 150,
Not definitely not 1 million, more than 100, maybe in the realm of 10,000, maybe. We really don't know.
So you said there was a way for us to know if someone was a mage as well?
Yes, if you use your mage sight,
Mage
when
sight.
another mage enters the area you're in, if you're paying attention, you should be able to notice that they are not like normal humans.
Does their chosen path present itself in any way like ooh, that's a deaf guy?
Not always, but generally, if you pick up on the flavor of their aura,
Like
if you will.
magic and skulls float around.
If they cast
Pretty
magic,
obvious.
it should be fairly apparent what path they are a member of.
Gotcha. They have a split second to be like, that's a deaf guy.
Well, if it's a movie, just see the way he's dressed. So.
And each path tends to have its own, based on their experience awakening and the way they view magic, they tend to have their own consistent traits that also help narrow down. Based on the way they view magic and the way they talk about it, can also help determine what path they're from.
is there anything else we need to know?
Almost definitely.
I feel as if I'm
Not that I think I'm qualified to tell you. Do you have any other questions?
How do we keep going with all this?
Yeah, what now?
Well, assuming
Yeah.
that you want to, we'll organize a meeting to introduce you to the ruling council, or at least one member of it. They're busy sometimes, so I hear. And then from there, it's sort of up to you what you want to do if you choose to join one of the orders. If you're amenable to it, I think that the leader of my cabal would very much like to sit down and have a conversation with you about what you saw and what happened. But
So, this isn't me. I'm actually interested in all of this and would like to join something at some point, probably. But, what if you get somebody who's awakened and they're like, no thank you?
in our view, they're free to walk away, but as you will probably notice over the coming days, you can't ever go back. You will never be able to go back to the ignorance that you had. You're going to notice things now.
So there's not a way to be unawakened.
There's no like blue pill.
Not
whatever
without
pill it is.
Death.
Sure, dude, it's called drinking.
And even then, I'm not sure that death actually fixes that.
Interesting.
You will notice things as you go about your even if you tried to go about your regular life and ignore it, there will be strange things that you will notice and you can't forget about.
Alright.
So there are some who've tried. I don't know of any who have successfully stayed away from it. Part of the reason we have the society is because we're all different now. And it's kind of hard to explain to our friends, our family, boyfriends, girlfriends, what we've seen and what we've experienced now. Even if you were to show them magic and not care about the risk of paradox, they'll forget about it. The memories of magic and its events fade from sleeper minds. They'll rationalize it and explain it away as something else. Their minds just aren't ready to handle the truth. There are a lot of people who've tried to force it on them.
So do you just live in the normal world? And
Some of us do. Some, like I said, some mages cut themselves off completely. They live only in, they immerse themselves in mage society. Depending on what order you might join or what goals you might have. For example, I don't have what you would call a regular job, but our cabal does have a system set up to make sure that everyone has the resources that they need.
so do you live here in this barn?
No. No, this is one of like 4 houses I think we use for new people.
So where do you live?
I'm not telling you that.
Well, no, like, not you specifically. I understand why you would not want to tell me specifically where you live, but, like, mages.
Where do you like to live?
Well, for instance, could I go back to my fish and my...
Sure. And unless there's some reason you feel like you couldn't.
But then I still also would
I
do
see.
mage stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I can't go back to my apartment.
I wouldn't think so, no.
Or do and figure out
Which
what
one do you
kind
want,
of
man?
person they are.
We don't know. There's something in a cupboard that none of us can see.
Well, now you can.
Can we?
That none of you can see?
Have you tried throwing
Yeah.
glitter on it?
Her roommate
No.
apparently had what I'm probably going to guess is a magical concealing spell on a cupboard.
Yeah, my roommate was... Do you know my roommate?
I don't know if I know your roommate.
I don't know. Yeah, she was weird, almost was never there. Her bedroom was, like,
Nothing.
nothing. And I ran into her one day when... Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a long.
That was yesterday.
That was 10 years ago. Yesterday, I guess. And she was acting all weird. She's almost never at my apartment. And she, like, got up to the cupboard and got something or put something there. I'm not really sure. And when we all tried to look, couldn't. So there's something weird that was going on in my apartment
Anyone feel like a field trip?
right now.
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, we
I
should
was
might
saying-
as well go get your stuff if you're not going back
Yeah,
there.
I'm not living there anymore.
Okay.
That's
I mean, if you got something
solid
invisible
idea.
in your cupboard, just throw glitter on it and it should, you know.
That
it'll
is not
see
the
form.
worst idea I've heard. None of us thought about that.
I would say paint, but that'd be a little bit more messy.
I mean, I don't tend to
And
carry
glitter's
glitter around
not.
from my pockets. so
Vacuum.
I did not have that thought.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
layer
don't think
Danny
you've been
on there,
around
yeah.
glitter because
Like
vacuums
Nate
don't
hasn't
work a lot of times. And then your vacuum is full of glitter, and you have to get a new vacuum.
Yeah, I say.
Spoken like a man who has experienced this at least once.
Oh yes.
Well, look who he's sitting. with.
Good debate.
I never ruined a vacuum with it.
Yeah.
That you know of.
That's fair. That I know of.
Yeah, I field trip to go see this.
Yeah, what's the worst could happen?
Oh jeez.
Don't
well,
say
now I'm not
that.
gonna go.
You haven't been with us the last 2 days. I don't know what your last 2 days have been like.
We fought a lake monster.
We found a cult.
We found a cult. It
Yeah.
was summoning a lake monster.
Lorcan's really gonna want to sit down and have a little talk with you guys.
Was it really big, like a Kraken Cthulhu mix with tentacles?
Yes.
Well, we don't know how big it was, but there were tentacles.
It was so big we couldn't tell how big it was. It was big.
Wait.
Watching Nate make connections to things is beautiful.
Ah,
Why?
sounds kind of like what I went up against.
What?
I told you this. I fought a monster. I turned into a bunny.
I don't
but like
remember
on your
seeing
path
him at the
theme.
Yeah,
boathouse,
yeah.
did I?
But we found
You
one
weren't
in
at
real
the
life.
boathouse.
Yeah, we were. Ours wasn't in the path whatever thing that we did. It was
No.
real life.
Yeah.
It was a boathouse.
They were
Yeah.
trying to pull it out of the free lake.
Guys, magic.
Hmm.
If you're wondering anything in the world now, it's now just magic.
I love how like not interested in investigating this kidnapping Zach was, and now Zach is he's like, guys, it's magic. It's not. There's not. It's magic,
If
guys.
you have an answer to just anything, magic, period, and stop.
It's magic.
I wonder what
nonsense.
Bigfoot is. Magic.
No, but magic always has to have logic.
I'm sorry.
Does the mark on my arm? Does it?
You've
feel
been with
like
us the last 2
Hosties
days.
No.
Since when is logic?
No, but it is. There's like a scar
Honestly,
that like, and it's kind of.
probably
It's not like a
time,
normal scar. It's almost like
but
this purplish
we
color.
don't understand it.
So like it's proof that was not all made up.
Yeah. I'll roll up my sleeve. Yeah, it left me this on my arm.
So he has like a 3-clawed scratch mark across his bicep. That's this. It's like a scar, but instead of white, it's like this dark purple color.
Oh.
That was
You
pretty
should,
cool. Not gonna lie.
you should wash that.
Yeah, I tried. Yes, I use soap. And hot water.
Somebody's Nate is showing. Yes, I used soap.
Just get some duct tape.
Field trip, then?
I guess. Let's see about this thing.
To the minivan!
Is it green with something on the side?
It is green. It does not have something on the side.
So like, can I practice my magic?
Sure. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Oh, I imagine.
Well, then I don't know what you do then.
I don't
No,
wanna
I'm
sit next
asking
to her.
Alpheus. Like, is it gonna cause problems if I just do things?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, just make sure you don't overreach yourself and there's not sleepers around.
Okay.
Can I cast a spell that I will be fated to have a good cup of coffee as we drive?
You can try.
That's a fair
Oh!
request.
I forgot to ask. What happened with the candle?
Did it?
Oh, so when you guys got up for the meeting, as you were walking away, one of the light bulbs blew its fuse, and the sparks landed on it and caught it on fire.
Okay, retroactively. I told you! I told you all!
We didn't doubt you.
You know,
You cheated.
do you remember that movie with Brendan Fraser? And he was approached by the devil who gave him wishes.
I actually do know what you're talking
And then he
about.
went for a burger and she took him to buy a burger. This magic feels about like
I don't
that.
think I've ever seen that movie.
Were you expecting
No,
a light bulb?
It's
Was
good.
it called Bedazzled?
Bedazzled, yeah, it's good.
Were you expecting a light bulb to break and sparks to catch it?
We're in a barn.
Did you break the light
We're not in a barn.
We're in a farmhouse.
Farmhouse.
Definitely a city girl.
This is a barn. Where are all the animals?
We are.
Bless you.
I don't think I know how to use the app.
So unless you literally actually want to go through the work of casting the spell, we can
No.
just say that you like fiddle around with the magic.
Yeah,
Because
I just-
a lot of the stuff that will fill out on that, like we have to
Yes.
figure it out.
Yes, I fiddle around until I give myself a Starbucks coffee. Not affiliated.
All right, so you guide Alpheus to your apartment, and
Up
you.
on Church Street? Is that where I am?
Mhm.
Yeah. Alright,
With my pepper spray.
Need your coffee in the other hands.
she's probably not here. She's probably...
So why are you paranoid?
You didn't live here.
No. Neither did
Okay, I'm going up
she.
the stairs.
She's probably just a drug dealer.
All this, and it was just weed.
That she hid with magic.
Here's my apartment.
So as you guys step into the apartment, however it is that your mage sight lets you know that there is something magic around, it goes off.
Ah, that helps.
If you look over at the cupboard and you activate your mage sight so that you can filter through your magic to see it, you can see that there is a spell tied to that top cupboard that ensures that bad luck will fall on anybody who's trying to activate or look at it. So, like, why you guys kept falling, or why one of you had, like, dust hit your face and blinded
Go up there,
you.
throw
And...
glitter at it.
I would just like to say, I feel very justified in all of my feelings yesterday.
I want to know if it's drugs. Go up there and open it.
You realize your roommate was a mage then. right?
Yeah!
I don't actually have glitter on me.
So
I would
Alpheus
look for it.
studies this spell. He goes, well, that's not good.
Ah, shit.
Oh dear.
Okay, Alpheus, what is going
I
on here?
don't recognize the mage that cast this,
Uh-oh.
Okay.
which means I don't know them.
I know what she looks like.
What-
maybe.
Which means she's not.
Right, which I assume means she's not part of the pentacle.
Hello?
So
Can
like
I
proximity.
find the fingerprint?
You can
Or
certainly try.
the nimbus of whoever this is?
But how long does a nimbus last?
Well, we're about to find out. If
It gets harder and harder to detect, but if you're good enough, theoretically, it never goes away.
Well, she was just here. I assume she has to refresh it.
I guess she was here yesterday.
She's
Roll
suited.
me.
She either has to refresh it periodically,
Is it-
or she's so powerful
She
that
cast
she
a
can.
hell of a spell.
Right.
It'll last all year.
Roll me
So if I try to chuck something at it, it's probably gonna take out.
Gnosis plus investigation
Gnosis plus investigation.
at a -3.
So, I'll willpower it.
Okay.
So, I'll spend a willpower just to make it 3. Two successes.
Right.
Was it 8, 9, 10 success?
Mm-hmm.
10 is a reroll.
As you're scrutinizing this spell, looking for that signature nimbus, you think you found it, and you're pretty sure it's the smell of juniper and cedarwood.
Oh, lovely.
Some of us operate in smells.
I was going to do the smell of coffee and I remembered my history. I was like, no.
All right, I was like, that's an interesting choice.
I want the smell. But smell of gunpowder is a good one. I like that.
Like, after it just got
Too
burned.
Whoever your roommate has very nice smells of juniper and cedarwood.
Can I go
Yes, I
root
know.
around?
Never noticed. I mean, she's almost
Well,
never here.
it's magic, so.
It's fair.
Yes, Keith?
This is probably going to be a terrible idea.
Uh-huh.
I would love to accelerate the time on her spell so that it runs out faster.
Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
so as you start to do that, you do feel Alpheus's hand on your shoulder. He says, I like where you're going. Just know, as soon as the spell runs out, she'll know.
Well, we might lure her out then.
Do we want to?
Well,
There's basically this guy and a
How
bunch
do
of
you know her?
babies.
How well do you know her?
I don't.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
I saw her once when I first moved in.
So before
And then yesterday.
So I'm guessing
before
she
I
gave you a fake name.
do that, then
well,
I
if
want
we
to
want
get a
to impress
sense if I can tell
council.
how long the spell was supposed to last.
Well, this is a mage.
Roll me investigation plus gnosis at a -3.
Maybe
He
they
seems to
need
be
to
well
impress
connected to
me.
most of the other
I'm gonna use
mages.
the willpower because I need to add.
We figure out who this
add
is, they
3
might.
to it.
Have more favor towards us.
So we'll have 3
If
play
that's
with
what we
here.
want.
So if you say -3 and that puts
I
you
imagine
like
if we're
0
getting into
below,
this,
you
might
can't
as
do
well-
it.
So if
Get some
if it
graces.
reduces your die pool to 0, you get what's called a chance die.
Mhm.
On a chance die, you only succeed if you roll a 10, and if you roll a 1, it's a critical failure.
Okay.
So I have 1 success.
Okay.
So you can, but odds are you're not
So
gonna
as you look through it through Mage Sight and you attune yourself to the time arcana as you study it, you were able to determine that it probably would have lasted another week before it needed to be refreshed.
Okay.
So maybe she's doing it by the
Go
week.
ahead.
So let's just hang out for a week and wait for her to return.
I mean, she's real. I mean, she's likely well above where we are.
Well,
Or she
as I was
care
just saying,
about-
Ember, if we're trying to get into good graces with the organizations of mages, if we figure out a rogue mage that our friend here doesn't know, that might give us some good graces within the organization as a whole
You?
to worm out a mage that is
yeah.
registered or unknown,
Unaffiliated.
an
Unregistered.
unaffiliated mage.
Yeah.
But
Although unregistered works too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Practicing
I'm gonna go ahead
without
and cast
license.
it.
Okay, so this is going to be a clash of wills. So what this means is you're going to roll and I'm going to roll to resist
Okay.
it. So this is going to be a time arcana spell.
Okay.
So just use your time plus your gnosis,
Okay.
and I will use.
Can one use willpower on
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I would use it
Yeah,
if you need to.
probably will.
What does that do? It gives you extra dice.
It adds
It
you 3
adds- it
dice.
asks, each time my highest arcanum, the ones I have are all the same. So I'm
Don't
gonna
don't
say-
worry about filling it in there because you're not actually casting a new spell. You're just
Okay.
modifying someone else's spell.
Okay.
So it's just a time and gnosis roll versus what I rolled.
Okay, so I am going to dump another willpower.
Do we know what
into
kind
it.
of magic this is?
You would have to study it to figure that out.
Okay. I might ask Alphonse later.
If you don't want the whole thing, you could
Oh, hang on, I gotta.
Ooh, that's not good.
Did you already spend a willpower?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
So no successes and 2 ones.
Okay,
Ones don't necessarily.
you
mean-
attempt to modify someone else's spell and it resists your effects. Go ahead and mark off 1 point of mana.
How much mana do we start with?
Yeah.
Don't worry about that for right now. Just make a note that you have 1 less.
okay.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Can I go to where the roommate's room supposedly would be?
You can, but I forgot something about because I had to swap out one of your merits. So, Piper, when you see this spell, you instinctively know that this is a fate spell.
Okay.
You have the ability, whenever you are aware of something supernatural happening around you, you instinctively know what type of magic it falls under.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I'm an elf.
Okay, that didn't work.
What are you trying to do?
I was just trying to shorten it. It's gonna last for another week.
Oh.
I was just trying to shorten it and, maybe have it.
Alphonse, does even if him doing that, would that trigger her? Or
She'll
only if
know-
it breaks?
She will know that her spell was not attacked, but something tried to interfere with her spell, but that doesn't mean she'll know what it is. That doesn't mean it's necessarily
It could
another
just be
mage.
like a blip of someone looking in.
Would she get that same feeling if someone just was affected by it?
No.
Okay.
No, just if you attempted to modify another mage's spell, unless you take precautions to do it covertly, a mage will know that something is interfering with one of their spells.
Do you have any oh no, you said you didn't know about this person.
I mean, you could try again.
It's a really powerful. I guess it's a powerful fate thing.
What
Well-
if we use non-magical?
Oh, is that? What
I don't know that I'd say.
It's a
So
fate
Alpheus
thing.
is like, I don't know that I'd say it's powerful. It's not super powerful. It's
Well, why don't
but
you do
it's
it?
effective. Why would I interfere with another mage's spell, especially one I don't know?
Fair enough.
Curiosity.
Killed the cat.
Why would you?
Satisfaction brought it back.
Fair enough.
Is that
That is the full thing.
Huh.
That is the full saying, yes.
Huh. I learned a new thing today.
Yeah, it's a fate thing. I don't know, like you're fated to have bad luck if you touch my.
So yeah, Alpheus looking at it says,
Nesquik
yeah, it
can?
appears that anyone attempting to investigate that top shelf, it steers probability against them.
Wait, how did you know it was a fate?
I just knew.
Is that normal?
It's not super common, but I've met a couple mages who just had a sort of instinctive understanding of what kind of magic was what.
You're still a wizard, Harry.
Oh no, Ember's not the most super special one at the table anymore.
So with my mage sight, is it tied specifically to the cupboard, or is it tied to the space that the cupboard is occupying?
Investigation plus Gnosis at a -3.
Investigation. Okay.
You're gonna spend another willpower.
Oh yeah, I just because I have an idea. Maybe. So that's a 10. So 1 success
It is tied to the cupboard.
to the cupboard.
So yes, if you pulled the cupboard off the wall, that would not get around this spell.
Good idea, though.
Could I
That's what I was thinking.
do a fate thing? Maybe even a time thing. I mean, like, it could fall out of the cupboard.
I'm going to
before.
remind all of you that you did eventually get to see what was there.
Oh, what was in it?
Oh yeah, it was the 10.
It was
Yeah,
no,
it
it
was-
was empty.
Yeah, it was a Nesquik tin that was empty.
Oh.
But you guys did eventually surpass the spell and actually got the thing out. Before,
Okay,
like, you can keep messing with this. I'm like, I want to make sure you guys remember, you have actually uncovered what was there
Definitely
before.
forgot that.
Are we
Okay.
sure there's nothing?
I think one of us has the Nesquik.
As sure as you were,
Do I?
Okay.
yeah.
Didn't you
Special
take
weed.
it?
I think you guys put it back in case she came back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we know that this person is also controlling fate,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and they are unknown.
Is it gonna be a problem that I was roommates with this random mage? Like, is it going to affect me? Is that why I was awakened?
I don't know, just sleep with her.
Maybe?
No?
I mean, we don't really know how exactly why people awaken, so maybe that had something to do with it, maybe it didn't. As far as affecting you, I mean, did you give her a reason not to like you?
I don't think so.
Does she know that you're a mage?
I don't think so.
I think you met pre.
Yeah, I think.
Then
Pre-awaken.
you'll
When
probably
did
be
we
fine.
awaken?
We
You
awakened
awake,
on the car
yeah,
right
in the
after
car,
10.
after you
Okay.
guys pulled in.
But we started noticing before that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was awakened today.
So were we. Talking last night.
Within
Or this
the
morning,
last
depending on.
24 hours.
Within the last 24
Yeah,
hours.
all of you have awakened within the last 24 hours.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that 6 newly awakened people should maybe not go after someone who's kept themselves off the grid in these conciliums, mysteriums,
Well,
pentacles.
All that means is she's not part of the organizations I know of. She could be a seer of the throne, or one of the other more nebulous types of mages. We don't really associate with each other.
Okay.
But is that good or bad?
It
Okay,
is.
so- Are there like turf wars?
Sometimes, although not in the way that you would probably think. Actual turf doesn't really matter.
Physical land.
What matters is access to resources and access to mysteries.
Okay, so what? You keep saying resources. What do you mean?
Let's say you and your friends here all make your money at the local gas station. If another mage came in and started interfering with the gas station.
Working their own gas.
Or, maybe they started using magic to interfere with the other employees there, or to steal money. Like, that would be an issue for you because you use resources there. It would be no different than if a new company moved in and tried to buy out your gas station. Like, it's just, if other mages are interfering with things that you rely on, that can cause conflict and access to mysteries, because studying the supernal and trying to understand magic and learn more about it helps us increase our own understanding of magic and our own place in the world. So that can become very heated, controlling who has access to different mysteries, which is why the Concilium exists. They decide which cabals, when there's a conflict like that, at least within the Pentacle, they decide which cabals have access to which locations.
Okay.
There are also locations where magic pools naturally, and you can collect magical energy from it. Those are very valuable.
Airport terminals at midnight.
It could be, but it's probably not.
Just curious. So, we're all gonna have to use, like, real world money still?
I mean, if you
Jamal
want
just
to
starts kind of laughing at that.
buy things from people who use real world money, yes.
But, okay. I'm assuming becoming awakened doesn't mean that we don't need to eat anymore.
Nope.
Or don't-
Still need to eat
Still have to
unless
use
you
toilet
use
paper.
magic to change that.
Which means you still need an income.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was asking.
The real world money.
Yes,
Yes.
most of us still use real world money.
But you don't have a real world job.
I don't. Some mages do. And some cabals or orders have ways of creating or acquiring money.
So your cabal pays you.
Yes, our cabal has a system set up to make sure that when people need money to cover, or when they need a place to stay or whatever, we have access to those resources. I just specifically, that is not what I spend my time doing. Somebody else in the cabal handles that side of things.
So I guess what changes in our day-to-day because we're awakened now?
Nothing, assuming that you don't work or live somewhere that has lots of weird supernatural stuff happening all around it.
Well,
In which case, that might be a little different.
Ah,
that kind of seems like what we're dealing with.
I see.
In your homes?
Well, mine.
Well, his neighbor was kidnapped by cultists.
That does not sound supernatural.
They were supernatural.
They slowed
cultists.
time down.
And a bush was bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
There was a cigarette.
A bush was bleeding.
Someone
it
you know?
was. Is that a nimbus?
That is a nimbus.
It was a
He pulls out his
nimbus!
phone and he types up a text and sends it off.
And
Where
there's
was
the blue jean
where was
hole.
this bleeding bush?
By his house.
Yeah. We.
And Keith has forgotten his address, but I'm going to give it. It's like, yeah, it was at the. And I'm going to give the address.
He's gonna pull out his phone and send a text with your address again.
Oh man.
Interesting.
Giving out your address now to like a whole bunch of unknown people.
And those folks,
He just doxed
Are the
himself.
ones that kidnapped Renee.
Dogs
Yeah.
himself.
and
Yeah.
they bought the masks that they used for that whole operation at a friend of mine's store.
Well, did they use magic to acquire the masks?
Used
No,
a credit card.
but because they used like somebody who was attached to me to procure them, like while the procuring was not supernatural, that person is now still involved with people who are doing some supernatural shit.
We actually had a pretty good little detective thing going on
We
here.
really
We
did.
figured out a lot.
He's gonna look at his watch.
With the green van.
No, that's his.
We know this.
How do you feel about having a little sit down with a friend of mine?
I mean, might as well. It's not
Will there
like we have
be
anything to do.
breakfast?
There can be.
I would like to will there to be.
What kind of breakfast do you want?
You can't guess?
I can.
It might actually.
I'm being polite.
Oh, French toast. Waffles.
Just gonna- Those-
Sending a grocery
Why
list
do
to
I feel
somebody.
like we're the kids in Hook or like
What day of the
Whatever
week
we
is this, by
imagine.
the way?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's the game started on a Monday. It's Wednesday.
oh Oh man, my
I should be
job.
calling to work.
Monday
Get
day
fired.
3.
Good thing I'm a freelancer.
I didn't really like my job anyway.
I
I-
am gonna
I work for
say
myself,
like
so.
I called in this morning, but
Give me your work information. I will make sure it's taken care of.
Nice try.
Excellent.
I'll do
I'm like,
that.
sure.
But I do have my afternoon evening things are more difficult to cover in ways that do not involve financial compensation.
I mean, are you saying you need to go somewhere, or you,
I mean, not right now. It's not.
or
that
or
late,
it would
but
be it's difficult for you to become disentangled with them for the evening?
that one
What makes it difficult?
because there are kids involved that are rather attached to me.
Do you have a
Whoa.
family?
No, I
Not
doubt it.
exactly,
Do you
but
have
kinda.
run an orphanage?
Shit, does anybody have a family?
Not exactly, but
I got
kinda.
parents.
Is your name Claudia?
Okay.
Not exactly, but kinda.
I have no family to worry about.
Yeah, I'm good.
Maybe that's what makes us mages.
Don't know that I can help with that then, since it sounds like you specifically need to be there. But
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, am I gonna, if we're still talking at that point, am I allowed to sneak out? And
I mean, you're allowed to do
stuff?
whatever you want.
Can we just use magic make a copy of her to fill in everyday life?
That is far more work and far more effort than I think it merits.
And you missed the part that I like actually like that job, right?
But no, you are free to. You have always been free to do whatever you wanted with this.
I'll keep with
I
you at
like
least
my
till
job
then. I'll
too.
Yeah,
think
let's
about
just
what I'm doing there.
brunch with
Yeah.
your friend,
like
and
my
we can decide afterwards what to do.
What is it you do again, Ember?
Right now I'm just working at a local clinic. It's not actually something I wanted to do. It was just a job while I looked for another job.
I'm gonna pull up my phone.
That is-
I'm gonna look up any phenomenons from last night, like planetary alignment,
Mhm.
full moon,
Okay.
moon,
Roll
or
me
something like that.
intelligence computers. If you don't have any dots in computers, because it computers
I do have it.
you do good.
It specifically says drones, but
Oh, that's your specialty. If that ever applies to a roll you're making with computers, you get an extra dice.
okay. So intelligence.
Mhm.
and-
Intelligence
No,
plus
Ember.
computers.
A 6.
If you have to move, I would not mind having a roommate who's not geriatric.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I am looking for a place to live.
you are, as of yesterday, looking for a new place to
She
live.
tends to play her stories real loud sometimes. And she listens
said
to
you have a-
NPR at like the highest.
You said 8, 9, 10?
It's volume.
Yep. And if it's a 10,
That's what
re-roll
I'll
it.
listen to, so that's what I have
Okay,
a negative
we
connotation
got-
with it.
2 8s, 2 9s, and 2 7s.
You have fish, right?
All right.
A fish.
You don't
Is it
find
in a
anything.
closed container?
It would suffocate and die eventually, but
Well, I think
there's like a bowl with a little.
Oh, so it doesn't have like a.
She has a beta.
It's a beta fish, so I'm gonna look at a shelf, but
Okay. Because I obviously I do have the cat.
or we can get a little aquarium with a little lid.
There's ways we can do this.
We can do it.
Okay.
They're figuring out their.
I know, I just had deja vu or like double vision where I was like, this is both Ember and Piper and Natalie and Stephanie discussing.
4 people.
I have a total downstairs that's devoid of anything at all.
But I have toddlers.
Okay, but
And they survived in the basement last time.
They did.
I could.
I don't think we
I
broke
would
any of their
gladly
stuff.
redo coming out of my bedroom in the morning and seeing Aaron face down on the carpet. Look at that. That's the funny thing.
So- You guys shoot the breeze for a little bit, and then Alpheus's phone rings again,
Ooh.
and he's like, how do we feel about Denny's?
Sure.
Yeah,
That works.
it's the same.
Fine.
thing.
Royal Palace of Denise.
Are we going Dutch or is it?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Taken care
Oh, so like the cabal's gonna pay
Free
for us.
meal?
It's not magically taken care of, we just
Or
will pay for it.
of. Did you just
Magic.
magic that away? It's like yes, with dollars.
with money magic.
Thinking this the entire time when
So what if it's fate for me to win the lottery?
It's not.
Then you'll win the lottery.
I'm just saying, you don't
All
have
right,
to worry
calm
about,
down,
you
calm
don't have
down.
to worry about income.
I'm not.
I don't know.
Opposed.
I've seen, I watched Once Upon a Time, and he said.
I'm just
magic
gonna
always
warn
has
you,
a
you're not
price.
the only mages to have that idea.
I was about to say, I'm
Yikes.
assuming if that was a thing.
Everybody would do it.
You can try, but there are lots of other people who are probably trying to win too.
So does everyone who wins the lottery a mage? Is that
Possibility.
what's happening?
It's a possibility.
That would not surprise me. That's probably the easy way to win.
Gosh. We never had a chance.
It was big the whole time.
It was. He was really good at that.
That is probably.
So Alpheus drives you to a Denny's. It's in the same parking lot as a strip mall,
Of course.
and he gets out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, yep, looks like he's in there." So hopefully you guys don't mind sharing what you've experienced.
In a Denny's?
Yeah, that's my next question.
You'll see.
We have a
I
code of
imagine this is a
silence?
magic Denny's that they've just sort of magically protected.
Oh, we
Zach's
have
just
our own
like, well,
private
it's
group to-
magic now.
Yes, I know. Everything,
Yeah.
anything that happens in Brain's just, it's magic. They magicked
That's
it.
what-
I don't know.
That's how Zach is
It's
coping.
Denny's. There's not a lot of customers anyway.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say we're past the night, so there's not gonna be a lot of drunk people.
It's past breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like right in between, like, it's
the
magic.
old people. It's when the old people come in.
They have bad
So as you guys walk up to the door, you do see sitting in like the little lobby area. There is a guy. He's got like spiked brown hair, denim jacket on, jeans, combat boots, and he's sitting there on his phone. And as you guys walk in, he looks up. He goes, "What's up?" He's over at the table, and Alpheus is just like, "Okay, thanks." And you guys walk past him.
Denny's has a bouncer now?
A mage bouncer at that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess your shadow.
Go for it, because Lance doesn't know his shadow.
Nice.
No.
Super.
But good guess. You're on the right track with this guy. So you guys walk in and the Denny's is empty.
His shadow name is Distal.
There are no patrons. There are no servers. You don't hear any kitchen staff. But there is...
Getting breakfast, right?
We'll get there. There is a single guy sitting at a table on his phone. As you walk in, he has copper-colored hair, a beard. Looks fairly well built. Sitting there on his phone, and as you guys walk in, he looks up and goes back down to looking at his phone.
Why is it with all of these people they're always on their phone?
Keep
I
it learn.
think that you're gonna have to learn how to use a phone.
I will not.
Well,
It shall remain a
Because it's
mystery
magic.
then.
We've lost the ability to have meaningful connections face to face with one another.
Yeah.
Just like
How bad
Ember's
is my
like-
make eye going off?
It's not.
It's not?
Mm-mm. Nothing in the room is supernatural.
I think that actually makes me feel worse.
that is real uncomfortable.
Mm.
Is it a booth?
This is
No,
what
it's a
an
table.
Airport terminal feels
The
like.
whole thing's empty.
at
We
2
couldn't get a
a.m.
booth?
Mhm.
I don't think there's a booth that can fit all 8 of us.
They have those like big long ones though.
Yeah. You can put tables together.
Yeah.
But
I- I-
he's sitting at a table. So.
Sitting at a table.
Go sit at the
I
table.
sit at a booth. Alright, I'm like, oh, man, we can get a booth?
So at that, he's going to look up from his phone. I mean, you can have a booth if you want.
It's just the principle.
It's a principle. What principle is that?
That booths are better.
Well, the booths are nice.
So as you guys
Is
sit...
there- is there one of those corner booths?
No.
As better as you can get in a Denny's.
As you guys sit down, Alpheus will be like, "Everyone, this is Lorcan. Lorcan, this is everyone.
So is it Lorcan or Lorik? This is Braden. Lorcan or Lorakin?
Lorcan.
I'm sorry, that told me nothing.
Good. I was hoping no one would know what that meant.
Well, I just know that it's a guy that I just had to kill in Baldur's Gate. Okay.
That's it. So as you guys sit down, Lorcan puts his phone away, looks up at you guys. You wanted breakfast, I heard?
Yeah.
Sure.
It'd be nice.
Okay.
Long
Anybody
days.
particularly picky?
Oh, she wants a coffee.
Human
French
food.
toast, right?
I mean, I don't want to be
She was
greedy
talking
over
Now
here.
we're all like, I don't want to bother anybody.
If it's human food from this side of the
She
world,
said she wanted French toast. And
I mean, I don't
Human
want
food
breakfast
from this
squid.
side. He looks at Alpheus. Have you told them nothing?
Alpheus is like,
I don't want breakfast squid from some part of the world. I don't know.
what?
He asked
Breakfast
me,
squid.
is anyone particularly picky? I don't.
I only met her 2 days ago.
I just met her last night.
So
Chipper, are you okay?
he rubs his temple, and he's like, all right, it'll be out in a second. And these 3 servers come out, and as they come out, all of your mage sight goes off. And Piper, you instinctively know that they are under the effect of mind magic.
Yikes.
And they come out and set down a whole, they have essentially they're catering you.
Oh,
So they just have a giant thing of pancakes, a giant thing of French toast, a giant thing of waffles, and they just lay it out in the center of all the tables.
But it's all imaginary. Huh?
No, he's
And then the 3 of them head back out.
Oh.
Sorry,
Is that ethical?
you don't know what's mind magic.
You don't know it's mind magic.
Yeah, you don't know it's mind
Oh.
magic.
I
but-
asked him is this ethical?
Well, that depends how you define ethics, but I do pay them very well.
I mean, this is why I don't decide to specify.
Well,
So
human
is this
food.
Denny's your front?
Do they consent?
No, this is just the nearest Denny's to where I was.
Oh, okay.
Is this just that they don't kind of understand everything
Do
that's
they-
going
Right,
on?
it is so we can speak freely.
Do they consent?
That's a funny, interesting question
They do
because
now.
it is hard to consent to something you can't understand.
Anyway,
Jamal's just gonna drink some coffee.
Yeah,
Eyes wide.
You know.
So,
it's just a cut out.
I hear you all have had an interesting couple days.
yes.
Yes.
Mind telling me about it?
Real quick.
I thought
So,
getting mustard.
Lorcan, who are you again?
I take it you're in.
He's the boss
No,
of the free
Alpheus did a
council.
very good job of explaining who was who and everything, but it was a
It's
fuck
a
ton of
lot.
information,
There's a lot
so
to
I
take
would
in.
like a short recap of who you are.
I don't think he
I'm
actually told
Lorcan.
us.
I run the Silent Arrow Cabal.
Just kidding. That is soft.
Okay.
Which
Silent
I
Arrow.
assume Alphonse is part of, right?
Yes.
Silent
Okay.
cabal.
Yeah, Alpheus did
Silent Arrow.
occasionally mention that the leader, his boss, whatever, was named Lorcan.
Okay.
Lorcan is also, when Helena said, "Fine, I'll let you go, but tell Lorcan he owes me a favor."
Yeah.
Sorry that you owe Helena a favor, by the way.
It's not the first one I've owed her, and it won't be the last.
Does she ever owe you favors?
Sometimes. She's hard to pin down.
Dad got some image.
I've been down to get favors.
I'm just gonna take a
I've
really
spent
big
a lot
swig
of
water.
favors. 25 cents.
Anyway, okay, thank you, Lorcan.
So, you want to tell me about the crazy day you've had?
Where do you even want us to start?
The beginning.
We
Yeah.
played D&D, and then we got magic powers.
I was
She's real
out
hung up on
fishing.
that. That's
I feel like you're missing a few steps in there, but okay.
yes, and there is a correlation that is not causation there.
So on Monday night, while we were playing D&D and we had just finished, some time magic occurred. What now we know is time magic occurred, and we looked across from our friend's house and saw a white van with several people wearing Richard Nixon masks go into the house across the street, and then come out with a woman, Renee, and then hightail it out of there.
We called the police.
We called the police.
It took them entirely too long to get there from where they came from.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot more sense now.
Yes, it
Will
does.
be.
While we
Just
were
wanted to carry
trying to figure out what that meant, some people
Some of
saw
us.
a bush bleeding. We were very confused. Some of us also saw a figured gentleman, I'm not sure, smoking off to the side
While he watched.
while he watched the whole thing, and
And we got the cigarette.
Yeah, it's a brand's,
Irish.
Irish brand of cigarettes for some reason.
That you can buy at the Raw Repub.
No, didn't Dwayne take it? Black Adam took it.
You
Oh,
guys,
yeah,
he asked if he
Black
could hold
Adam.
on to it, and you guys let him.
Yeah, we did.
Shit.
we then
I guess we'll
tried
call
to
him
do
Black
some
Adam.
investigations.
And we did a damn good job.
Yeah. Found out that the
Before
Richard
we had.
Nixon masks were bought with a credit card from the
Alcoa.
What?
Alcoa company.
Mm-hmm.
We then went to the one pub and saw that it was semi-controlled by individuals wearing too much denim.
Plus of denim, they were drawing some weird kind of
That's
thing on the
coming from
board. Made
him.
her freaking nuts for a second.
yeah.
She did some snooping in there. Again, excellent detective work. Tried to sneak in, thinking it was the bathroom, and she came back not quite right. She's better now. But,
Thank you.
We then, because we thought we were going crazy, went to a place that had to do with magic, quote unquote magic, and talked to a gentleman by the name of Black Adam. I don't know if you know who Black Adam
So
is.
at saying Black Adam, so like this whole time he's been pretty like unreadable, stone face.
Mm-hmm.
Corner of his mouth twitches a little bit like a smirk or a smile.
Not knowing what that meant, he messed with our minds, and then we spent the next several hours going batshit crazy because we did not know what any of that meant. Her roommate is apparently a mage now who was using time magic anyway, with a cupboard.
So when you say that, he's gonna look over to Alpheus a little bit, and Alpheus is like, "Don't know, never seen it before."
I then got a call about some
boats going
Oh,
missing?
the
Black-
boats.
black ebony boats that were
purple
on
wood.
with purple wood that were washed ashore. I had confiscated them earlier that day and got a call from someone from the Alcoa company who wanted me to take them to a specific place, and then they called again and told me to take it to another place. We then had an encounter with a Oni mask wearing gentleman who our friend over there could only see through the reflection of mirrors, who equipped us with shotguns and handguns. We then went to the place that the boats were supposed to go, saw that there was a ritual happening. We then stormed the place, shot several of the attendees,
Stop our bullets.
had people stop bullets. A
Only me.
tentacle monster, or giant tentacles appeared. We got Renee out of there. We ran away.
Black Adam and stuff came and
There were far too many people who just showed up very ninja-like. And then we got out of there, and I suppose that's when we all awakened, and then your friend Alphonse found us. So,
it's been an eventful.
Well, that's what they did. Mine's a little
48 hours.
different.
yeah, hers is probably, yeah, that's the five of us, is last 24 hours.
I'm just going to kind of get a little shudder remembering all of that.
I'm gonna be like, kind of badass actually.
Wow, that sounds nuts. Even knowing
Where
that
did they
they're
ask
happening.
you to take the boats?
I'm listening to it and I don't believe it.
I'll give him the location. I can't remember.
There.
It's just there. For which one? The
What color is my boat?
Like white? It was like a regular.
I was just wondering if by coincidence it was the same color.
No.
Yeah.
I'll give him both the locations. The one for the actual place, the business
Right.
they wanted, and then also the dock area.
Mhm.
So
Interesting. And I understand you washed up on shore earlier today.
that was the end result after I, changed a giant tentacle monster into a bunny to stop it from attacking me.
Oh, I thought you changed into a bunny, and I was very confused about how you beat it.
That's.
It makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to fight the monster, so I was like, poof, bunny.
Wow.
Yeah. That was that.
It's real brave of you.
So that's where we
What's
sit
smarter than
currently
harder?
on what we have done in the last 24 hours. Ish.
Well, you're lucky to have survived, I suppose.
I suppose that's a word for it?
What can you tell me about your roommate?
I don't remember what I said her name was, but
Her name was Alyssa.
Alyssa. She said her name was Alyssa. I'm sure that's fake.
You didn't do a background check on her before moving in?
I didn't have hardly any money. I found a place I could stay. I met her once when I signed the lease. She seemed nice, but sort of quiet, like didn't want to talk or anything. She was almost never home. She told me that she worked out of town and just needed a place to keep her stuff. I did not question it until during all of this insanity, I went home and Alyssa was there, trying to get something out of the bad luck cupboard.
The bad luck cupboard?
Sounds like something
Yeah,
out of
we
Mr.
went looked at
Rogers.
that.
That's bad luck cover.
We now know that it was fate magic, and that anybody who tried to look into that top shelf of the cupboard or tried to mess with it would have bad luck, and I think that happened to just about all of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, fell off counters, all kinds of fun stuff.
Eventually got in.
We did eventually get in. It was an old-fashioned Nesquik can, like the metal ones. It was empty,
It was empty.
as far as we could tell. Because I was already paranoid as hell when I saw Alyssa, we did also check her room. There's nothing in there. Like, she very clearly doesn't live there. I'm not really sure why she was using this apartment and paying rent just to stash something in the one cupboard.
Do you know how good that stuff is?
No.
It's really good.
But, yeah, she wasn't, like, super excited to see us. Or me. I just went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
to see me. And I asked her questions about her job, and she was very, very, very vague.
Do you remember what Alyssa looks like?
Yes.
Give me as many descriptions as you can.
Blood vomit.
She looked like this.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing all that with me.
Yeah, now I'm kind of regretting it. Remember when we told everything to Black Adam and then he lied to us? Took our memories?
He did not give us pancakes.
So, who is Black Adam? Because you clearly know who Black Adam is.
Yeah, that was definitely an acknowledgement smirk there.
He's another mage.
Figured.
Yes.
I am aware of the type of work he does.
Which is...
I need somebody to roll me presence persuasion.
Ooh.
Let's see here.
I want to roll something. I haven't rolled anything.
Where's persuasion?
Probably shouldn't be me because I'm very bad at social.
I have 6.
I have 4.
Oh.
I also have
Present?
6, but I'm not taking part in
Yeah.
pressing for
I got nothing in persuasion.
Where the heck is presents?
It's-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 4.
Only one person needs to do it.
Oh.
I mean,
Do you only want one of us to roll?
Yeah, just
Okay.
one person.
I just have the one success.
Roll again. That's all I got.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Woo!
Hey,
Those
So
are
that's-
tens, re-roll those.
Okay.
exceptional critical already.
Okay,
she has
so
3
reroll the
tens.
10s.
I mean, you can re-roll them, but it doesn't matter at this point. You blew what I had out of the water, and you have enough for a critical success. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
just
you
see
have
how many
achieved
you
the
get.
maximum result. So you can tell that Lorcan's like very like, nah, I'm not gonna show it. But as you guys just sort of badge him about it, he's like, he often works to misdirect people to keep their keep prying eyes away from actual magical abilities. He works for an order called the Guardians of the Veil.
Oh.
I've ran into him before.
What's your measure of him? Should we be scared of him? Should we avoid him?
He's good at what he does.
Told you I'm gonna punch him in the face next time I see him.
I think that's reasonable.
I trust his loyalty to his cause and his order. Whether you like that or not is a matter of debate.
Oh.
Well, we certainly left a bad taste in our mouths, but I should not have said it that way.
Hey, what you
Hey,
do
that's
in your
not-
own time. None of my
If
concern.
it makes you feel any better, he probably didn't realize you were that close to awakening and didn't think you'd ever notice.
So
he's still
Wiping
part of the
memories is sort of
Pentacles,
standard
so-
procedure for what he does.
Yeah, and he's still part of the Pentacle, so he's not overtly an enemy of our cause. Or the cause.
our cause?
I don't know what the hell
I
our
don't know
cause
what
is yet.
our
but
cause is exactly.
Yeah,
We'll figure that out later.
but he's not like the super hostile folks and like the
He's
other
not one of the
organization.
crazies.
Yeah, he's not one of the crazies. He's still.
I didn't say he wasn't crazy, just that he's good at what he does.
No, I
There are
didn't say
different breeds
he
of
wasn't
crazies.
crazy either. He's not one of the crazies.
He's not trying to like bring something back from the weird void
No.
abyss thing.
That.
I feel like that's a big one I don't want to associate.
I would agree.
So what do you make of all that nonsense we just spouted?
A lot, but most of it won't mean anything to you.
It doesn't already.
Yeah.
Piper's so done.
Like, I'm fried.
I would say that you all have been dragged into something much bigger and with a lot more going on than you realize.
You don't
I
say
would
it.
Of
say you are
course.
correct.
And I would say that the best thing you could do right now is to focus on getting your feet out from under you.
Wait,
Is there ever anybody who awakens in
Mhm.
like just for fun? Like they just it's not trauma?
Not that I've met.
Finally!
Well,
Question. This tentacle mark on my arm, should I be concerned?
the what on your what?
You know, a little tentacle mark. No, raise up my arm. It happened during the awakening. Well, shortly, like right after.
Oh, you're gonna die. That's the look of.
I'm so sorry.
man, when people that know this
You'll
much
probably
more
be
than us
fine.
look
Oh.
like that.
You don't sound
I'm
confident.
sure.
I believe you.
I don't suppose there's an order of like magical healers or anything that can
I
help
mean, the
with that.
Mysterium's probably your best bet.
I kind of like the way it looks. I'm just, is it going to
Maybe
alter
they'll
my
want
mind
to
any?
dissect you and see what it means.
Do we have to worry about being in his proximity because he's turned into like a zombie or something?
Or a
Probably
lake
not.
monster.
Probably not.
It's the first time I've ever seen or heard what he's describing.
Maybe a brain.
So
here.
probably not.
I've heard of magic and fairy tales and stuff, but I have not once in my life heard a story about a were-squid.
It now exists.
Rule
Because magic.
34, it probably exists out there.
No, that's if it exists, there's porn of it, right?
Yep.
That is Rule 34.
That would be like any tentacle porn ever.
Yep. That is all hentai, all of it.
So
Every
that's
time.
not if it exists, there is a were of it.
Nope. Nope, that could be a new rule.
Hey, Danny,
though.
I think it's time to put down the shovel. Stop digging this hole.
Wow.
Anyway, so he's probably not going to turn into something awful.
Probably not.
Probably.
We'll find out.
You got anybody in your
Is it-
little group that's
Is it going to
Mysterium?
cause any excruciating pain?
I do. Their specialty isn't in healing.
damn? Anybody we should keep on our radar for that purpose?
It's better bet to ask the Mysterium about it in general.
I really don't care as long as it doesn't cause me any like excruciating pain. So.
It'd be interesting, whatever happens.
I'm laughing as I put like my French toast in my mouth. Just like,
I'm a little hysterical.
If in the future I try to kill y'all, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I will try hard not to.
Thanks.
I don't believe you, frankly.
I will try my best not to, though.
How is this always your character?
Right. Always.
All right. Well,
Okay, now what?
Now I think I'll leave the rest of it up to Alpheus to take care of.
Or Alpheus.
You just said get your feet out from under you.
Mm-hmm.
You sure that's the right saying?
Was that an on purpose thing? Or
It's a good
You're gonna
a
find out.
bad English thing?
You're gonna find out.
Shit,
no, we
it's
don't want to
the,
go
it's the
home
form.
now.
Enjoy your breakfast. And he's gonna stand up and head on out the door.
Thanks, I guess.
Did you pay him to be that weird, Alpheus?
Alpheus will be like, it's just kind of how he is, especially around people he doesn't know.
Does he get better if you know him?
Depends what your definition of better is.
Fair.
Oh man.
So you're the person that you are because you have charisma. You can talk to people. You put people at ease.
He's like the ambassador. Yeah.
That is what I do, yes.
And they didn't give him that job because that's not him.
Technically, he hands out the jobs. So, he didn't give himself that job.
Sorry. Okay.
I will say, in his defense, I've seen him be charismatic before.
Wow.
Just,
Did his face crack?
no.
I was like, do I look
I think he saves that for when he has to use it.
You have to wind it down.
Well, I mean, look at the waffles. Okay.
Remind me.
So-
I hope or Denny's that has like 7 different kinds of syrups.
That's IHOP.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said or Danny's, and I was like,
Was it at a restaurant or at Danny's kitchen that there were?
I have 42,000 different versions of vinegar, but syrup, not so much.
Okay. So is it even safe to go home?
Yeah, I repeat my question. Now what?
I mean, it'll take a couple days for us to set up a meeting with the Concilium.
Okay.
Your time is your own at that point.
And then I.
You know what,
So
at least-
there is a concern I have, and
Just one.
it's just a general concern, and I don't mean any offense to you or what you're saying. If we had met an ambassador from one of the others that you told us not to join first.
Well, he didn't say. Oh, or you like the crazies and the.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
gotcha.
saying if we met them first before they talked to
The
us,
crazies were the collaborators.
they would have said that their whole ordeal could be bad guys, and
Of
then
course.
Yep.
what would stop us from joining them?
That's why we have to talk to each.
They don't really give you much of a choice between joining them or not. It's you either join us or we force you to or we kill you.
Oh, well,
For what it's worth.
Well, because that one, the adamantine air. No, wait, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Yeah, that's
The
one of the that's
guards
one
of the veil, right? They're the ones that kill. Oh wait.
No, see, those are the orders of our concilium or this concilium.
Oh, that's right. It was the others, the kind of
Yeah, the
They
seers of the throne,
want to either.
and then like the
kill
abyss
everybody.
whisperers and
Yes.
the banishers
Yeah.
that are the problem.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, if you had met the Banishers, they would have killed you.
Mm-hmm.
If you had met the Seers, then you would have been joining the Iron Pyramid whether you liked it or not.
I see.
And honestly, anybody who's trying to actively bring anything from the abyss into the world, I feel like that's kind of a cut and dry thing.
One of the few
Well-
things that we, the Pentacle and the Seers, agree on is that anybody who tries to bring the Abyss into the world, not a good guy.
Well, like I said, I mean that's what he's saying. We don't really know him.
But that's where we're gonna meet the other ones.
that hasn't
I don't know
happened
that
yet,
I
so.
particularly care to meet the ones that wouldn't kill the people but do magic.
No, we don't want to meet them.
No.
I see what you're saying.
I'm just
though.
saying. Yeah.
No. It's a fair point, but also,
What choice we got?
Yeah.
like, if what he's saying even has a little bit of a morsel of truth to it, the people that are on, like, there is infighting amongst the Pentacle. And there are different people in the Pentacle that have different emphases on their different
But again, this is
focuses.
all based on what he's said.
Yes, but
So-
if there is a morsel of truth to any of the things that he said about the groups that don't even involve the Pentacle, to try to go out and subvert confirmation bias would be a problem.
So at the moment, this is all we have.
How long have you been awakened?
About 2 years, give or take.
How were you awakened?
I had a really weird dream after seeing some really weird stuff.
Did you watch a scary movie before going to sleep?
No, that would have been a lot easier.
Is there some kind of a spell that I can do to just make sure that my, like, our current direction is going towards the path of good? Just a
Sure.
general impression?
You could use fate magic to get a general impression about it.
Okay, is that small enough that I'm not gonna, like, summon some demon from the hells?
Yeah, it should be pretty much within your
Was
abilities.
this one episode in Beast Wars Transformers where the Decepticons intercepted someone who's supposed to be the good guys, and they
Yep.
convinced him that they were the good guys, but he knew something was off, especially because when they transformed, they yelled "terrorize."
That is a problem.
So,
I remember this episode.
So, let's see.
because I was
Is there a way to do it like insight check?
invested.
A vibe
Insight
check.
would be wits. Wits, empathy.
I'm also really good at that. I guess more than one person can make that one, huh?
Mhm. Yeah, anybody who wants to vibe check Alpheus.
Yeah.
So
I'll
that's
do
7 dice on that one.
I got 3.
Also, Lorkin the game?
1 success. 1 success.
Okay. You feel like Alpheus is being genuine. Like he seems to be being as
Okay.
straightforward with you as he can.
So I don't feel like there's any deceit or anything.
No. Like, you can definitely tell, like, there are certain things that he's not telling you, but you don't feel that it's like, I want to keep it in the dark. It's more just like, you're already drinking from the fire hose.
Nothing
We don't need to...
intentionally malicious.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
He's also even, like, admitted his bias, which is not usually something
That's
that
true.
somebody's going to be
You
doing.
could openly say it.
Yeah. Alright, so for the spell casting for this, what is our difficulty?
Okay. So, the difficulty is 1.
Okay. So. Reach. I've got. Okay. Arcanum minus the prerequisite Arcanum plus 1. So my Arcanum for this one would be Fate,
Mm-hmm.
which is just a 1.
You get 2 free reaches
You have 2 free reaches, like, per day.
for this roll, because so it requires a fate of 1. You have a fate of 2.
Okay.
You get a free reach for every dot that meets or exceeds the requirement. That's not how it's worded in the paper, because the paper just has the equation, but that's how it works.
So I just get 2.
So you have 2 free modifications you could make to the spell if you wanted that will not invoke Paradox.
There's Paradox back.
My recommendation is spend 1 of them so that you can cast this spell instantly instead of it taking an hour.
Okay. I'll do that then.
Other than that, I don't feel like you need to modify the spell,
Okay, yeah.
and other modifications could invoke a penalty to your die pool.
Okay. So that's to determine my reach. The die pool is just the fate?
It's your Fate Arcanum plus your Gnosis.
plus my gnosis, so 2. Yeah. Nah.
Okay. So you. Oh. So also make a note that this costs you 1 point of mana. Casting a spell that is not one of your ruling arcana costs you 1 mana. We won't worry about that just yet, but it does. Casting spells that are part of your path's ruling arcana do not cost extra mana to cast.
Okay.
You try, but you're just not able to get it to formulate properly.
Okay. But still with the wits thing, it's like, I feel like he's being pretty honest. So it's fine. It just would have been nice to know that fate was telling me I was pointed the right direction. But, yeah.
So you guys continue eating. Lorcan did not eat any of the food, so you guys have just essentially been left with this whole catering buffet. As you guys are filling up, Alpheus will be like, so, I need to drop you guys off anywhere. What do you...
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because we don't have any vehicles.
My
Yours-
truck.
Do you currently have a roommate?
No.
Can I be your roommate?
Yes. But we would have to find someone else.
That's okay. Can I just come stay with you while we find something?
Yes.
There
Okay, thanks.
might be. I can check with my landlord. The landlord downstairs, the guy who runs the store downstairs, is actually also the landlord, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Like I can ask the guy behind he's a friend of mine if there's something available in the building.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to decide where we want.
I'm assuming neither of us can afford to live, like, alone.
No.
Would you want to right now after all this shit? Like I don't want to, but I'm in a one-room apartment, so 1-bedroom apartment. It's a loft, right?
Alpheus, do you
It's
live
whatever you want
alone?
Hmm?
Huh. Weird.
That doesn't freak the hell out of you?
Why would it?
Used to
You got some
Because
weird sex
Squid
that...
monsters and kidnappings and
It's not like living with other people's gonna stop that.
I guess that's fair.
And this way I don't have anybody complain when I get up in the middle of the night in my underwear to go cook brownies.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
3 a.m. and I'm making brownies.
That's a valid point.
Your Alma is showing?
Is that what it does?
So for the stream, one day after coming home from a very late D&D game, I came into our kitchen as I was coming in. It's like 2 a.m, and my brother is in the kitchen, in just his boxers, making brownies. And I looked at him, and he looked at me. And he had the oven halfway open, so he just like a deer in headlights. And I looked at him, and then I kept walking, and we didn't acknowledge that we had seen the other. So
You didn't get any brownies?
no. Turns out he likes to cook them in the middle of the night because there's nobody else up for him to have to share with.
Oh.
And he didn't expect anybody else to be up, which is why he didn't bother putting on anything other than his boxers, because he's like, no, it's not like anybody's going to be up. And then I came in the door, and we were both just like, okay.
I'm sure brownies always taste better in your underwear. I don't know. I've not tested it.
That's a theory I
I'm
am
gonna
down
have
to
to test
test.
That's amazing.
Alright.
I wouldn't mind a ride back to my my place so that I can
Sure.
have my
Yeah.
car for work
Oh, we still have my cat, right?
Or-
I've just been bringing my cat around.
for after school
Where
rather
did
not
I
for
leave my
work.
car? Where did I leave my work truck?
My car's at your safe house.
I have to go with you to let you in.
I think you left your truck where you parked it to go to the pub.
I don't know where my bike is.
I don't know where
So-
your bike is either.
Shoot.
Your bike is in the back of Daniel's truck.
I lost my boat, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Although if you drop me off
It got
at
cracking.
if you drop me off at my safe house, That's within walking distance of where the pub was, so I can go get my truck.
Also, you might need to get yourself a new safe house. I'm just saying.
Yeah, probably.
A few people know about that now.
Well, I don't need just a new safe house. I need a new place to live too.
Oh.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
If you need to stay on my couch to figure it out, you can.
Thank you,
Like I
bud.
said, we're trauma bonded now.
So it
Yeah.
seems like we're all in this together now.
Do,
Can I get your phone numbers? Your contact?
No.
Feels weird, but yes.
Let's do that later.
Yes.
That's it. So Alfie's gonna reach in and pull out of like a pocket in his jacket. He's gonna hand you all business cards,
Actually, that's a good idea.
I'm just gonna go.
and it just says in like Arial font, a little like it's got like a little gloss to it. It just says Alpheus, and then on the back it's his number.
I'm just gonna go ahead and text him so that he has mine.
Hey, this is Ember.
I call him.
Oh, yeah, something you should know in case you didn't get this. He doesn't know how to use Google, and he will not text you.
That's fine.
I don't even know.
A lot of mages that way.
Huh?
There are a lot of mages that way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Guess you won't have to lose. You'll learn how to use the internet.
No. Why would I?
I don't know. This guy's on his phone a lot.
So?
It seems like it's a helpful thing.
I mean, it got us free Denny's.
It's a fair point.
We really should have pushed for IHOP.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't turn down free food.
It's true. So, eat and then you drop us off at the various places we need to go.
Sure.
My truck's parked right next to yours anyway.
So, we'll get to my car.
Mm-hmm. I'll walk over and get my bike.
We'll get your bike. You can put your bike in my car if you want to. And then we can drive to your apartment.
Yep.
Did you need to crash in my place while you figure some stuff out?
It's probably okay for tonight. I need to call around and see what's available.
Where do you live, Nick?
I got my own place. I don't know Vermont.
He lives in a place that's because I don't have his address
you
either.
didn't do an address for him?
No, I didn't think that far ahead with his stuff. I planned out a whole bunch of other stuff about like him fighting a tentacle monster and like all this stuff. I did not consider where he lives.
That's fair.
So it's not an apartment, it's an actual house with a small house.
Oh, okay. We know you live in the woods.
So.
I don't.
I'm kidding, Zach.
I just love how all of you are like, "Oh, can I stay with you?" And I'm like, and Zach over here has like a double wide trailer that could fit all of you, and he's just like,
No, I have like if you Google like super deluxe camp trailers,
Ooh.
like
Ooh.
Zach didn't spend a lot of money, and he paid salary rise by the government, which is not too bad, which isn't like expensive, but like
That's
It-
fair.
as soon as like he lost his job in Wyoming and Grandpa's cabin burned down, he basically spent all his money on a really nice camp
Yeah,
trailer.
getting paid by the government is fine until, the politicians are assholes and there's a shutdown.
Yep.
Did you buy a shaggin?
Not intentionally, no, but yes, maybe.
I think for
I
Piper
mean,
and Ember, it's more like, let's be female roommates.
Yeah. And like, you seem like the least social among us of the
Yeah.
people who would be like, yeah. Like,
and they're afraid you're gonna
emergency
kill him out in the
situation?
woods.
yeah, no, that's this is,
I'm less worried
like I
about
said,
that.
Jamal would be more worried about that with the women, I feel like. But,
Us just killing you?
She only rides a bike.
that's fair.
How's she gonna dump the body?
No, that's her cover.
She's got the body strapped to the back of the bike. Going up a hill.
But Jamal figures like the really nice trailer would be probably.
Well, you guys don't know I lived in a trailer.
Oh, that's true.
I just love the idea that you have this really nice, luxurious place, and we're like, I mean, and he lives in the woods.
Yeah.
And Zach's just like, I'm not
gonna
saying
In my
anything.
brain,
More
he
room
lives
for
in the
me.
woods, and he's quiet and he stays disconnected. Like he is by himself on purpose.
Well, my vice is isolation, so.
Tracks. Yep. So it would not even dawn on Jamal to be like, "Hey, let's be roomies."
Yeah, no one asks, so.
Yeah.
Because if I moved Or if I set myself up, I would be like, that's because I don't want people around me.
Yeah, I feel like we all got that vibe and we're just like, it's fine.
Well, if we're all by our vehicles, I'll just be like, well, if anyone needs to get a hold of me, you can call. So I'll
Will
probably
you read a text if I send it to you?
and then I'll call you.
Alright.
Why would I spend 3 hours when I could just call you in 5 minutes and have an entire
Cell phones
conversation?
have text.
Do you think it takes 3 hours to send a text?
Well, it takes
Take
3 hours
time.
to have an entire conversation we could have in 5 minutes.
Not if it's something quick, like, hey, are you gonna get pizza tonight?
Well, then we have to add, then I'll call you and just be like, what kind of pizza?
Okay, never mind. I will just call you.
He's not a texter, he's a caller.
Just let it. Yeah.
So wait, are you going to join the free order? Because they're about innovation.
I don't know, we'll see.
Maybe innovation doesn't necessarily have to be about cell phones. I don't know. Don't know what that looks like, but
Alpheus is over here like, this is interesting.
either that
I
or
assume
like
at this point
really
Alpheus has already
idiots.
dropped you guys off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
On the way walking home, I'm going to stop by a florist and like grab flowers for Carlos's wife as I walk in. Just be like, I forget what her name is. I don't know if I have that written down, but I probably don't. But he's gonna hand off flowers and give a little flourish and like, and tell Carlos I owe him dinner. I might owe him more than one dinner. He has been instrumental in the last 36 hours. He's just gonna go up the stairs. He's gonna try and nap until the after school stuff starts.
I'm gonna reclaim my truck with an empty boat trailer. Trying to figure out a way to explain this to my insurance.
I was
The
struck
boat just
by lightning.
disappeared. So actually, when you get back to your car, there is a boat in your boat trailer.
What?
Magic's real!
Magic's real! It's a miracle!
That was the selling moment.
It's a Christmas miracle. We'll get to my studio. I will thank my landlady for watching Milo, my fish. I'll scrape up a can of tuna or something for the cat.
I mean, it's probably safe to at least run by my apartment.
You were literally there earlier.
You
fine,
could
as long
have
as you're
just
looking
grabbed
over.
all of your more important
That's true.
stuff.
We can swing by my apartment and get like cat food and a little.
Little box thing.
Yeah.
You both have a cat?
No, I have a cat. She has a fish.
For now, that fish will be gone soon.
No, we're gonna figure it out.
So,
So,
when I pull back up at my place, is there anything that my new mage site is revealing to me that I would have missed in the last couple of days? Because there's a magical crime scene right across the street. There was the guy standing on the corner. Things that we tried to find, we looked for things, we probably missed stuff. Is there anything standing out at all? Especially now that I am super paranoid.
other than the stuff that you expected about, like you can tell that there was magic that was used here as the signs of it fade.
No. Okay.
Yep, thoroughly mundane. You look across at the Linares' house. Mundane,
She
boring,
back?
normal.
I'm gonna step out to the corner, and from that corner I can look down the road and I can see the police station.
Uh-huh.
Right? No, seriously.
Yeah.
I
No,
looked it
really.
up. And looking at that, is there anything odd off about the police station or anything like that? No.
No.
All right.
You just take the scenic
Just,
route.
I'm gonna go back into my apartment.
Actually, that's a pretty
I guess,
frequent
and
thing,
just
because
kind of
the people
look it
that
over
call ever
once because
very rarely
Had a
when
bunch
they
of-
host that
had a bunch of
station.
friends that apparently now have all kinds of weird abilities. I want to see if there's been any mark left on my apartment now too. No,
Nope.
This is why people don't
I really
DM
love
more.
this apartment, but I can't stay here.
Stay
I'll go home to my trailer, and I'll spend the rest of the day sort of just like
Processing.
processing.
Oh yeah.
I'll do that thing where a guy will just like open up his truck and just sort of make sure everything is tightened. You know, just sort of
Yep.
like have a Coke right on the dash and just be working on my truck to sort of just be like, you know, to sort of just be like, you know, I need something to do. I haven't removed the starter and put it back on in like a week, so let's.
In like a week. I haven't tinkered around with my engine in a week. I better get around to that, guys.
I used to know a guy in high school who used to do that. Just sort of
Just
would
because.
continue just during the weekend would, since he didn't have anywhere to go or anything like that, would just sort of take a couple of things out and then put it back in during
Just
the
take
weekend
apart
just
and
to.
reassemble my engine.
Well, yeah,
For
he would do that
funsies.
just to be able to do something because I used to live in the middle of nowhere. So.
I used to do this with my computer.
It's sad, but you know.
That hurts me.
That's boring.
So I'll just be doing that to sort of just decompress. So,
Everything goes well with the kids. Evening comes. You all head to bed. As you sleep, each of you dreams.
Of course we do.
Each of you finds yourself standing at the gate that leads to the boathouse. And as you look around, you realize you can see everybody else there too.
Oh no.
Really?
oh shit!
What happens if I try to touch him?
I mean, you just touched me.
No one's naked, right?
Only if you want to be.
No. Like,
I
oh my
just saw you
gosh.
guys.
So this is really happening, huh?
Dang
Is
it.
this part of
Dang,
what trauma
this
bonding
is-
is?
This is like
We have
Magic!
shared dreams now?
Oh, yeah, I
this is
should.
like dreaming of what?
I should
We
point
need to
out-
Get away.
You are not at the boathouse with them.
Oh.
You find yourself in the water. You can see the boathouse in the distance
Am I
with the lights on. No, you're in your boat.
Oh, boat. Okay.
And your boat is headed that direction.
Do we have to like do something?
No, I feel like this is someone coming to contact us to just be like, "Hey,
Oh.
join us."
Can we get it over with so I can sleep?
In the distance,
so
you guys
tired.
can hear a boat from the other side of the boathouse.
Shit.
There's a boat.
Can I operate a gun?
You can try. Roll me.
Roll really well and get a freaking rocket launcher.
You had to summon a demon in your mind.
Wits crafts.
Oh, I could do that quite easily.
I don't think this is gonna go well.
8.
It's a success.
That's a success.
Oh,
You manifest a gun.
Oh jeez.
I want my pipe wrench in my hand.
Wits crafts.
I'm not.
I'm getting a shotgun.
Freaking.
Wits crafts.
Yeah, okay, but is it?
I'm not doing anything until they shoot at me.
Oh, I'm not gonna shoot at you. I just want to have something.
Would MacGyver come into this or no?
No.
Okay, so I
Was
have
there a boat last time when we were
I
here?
mean, when we were here in real life.
3.
And
When
you-
we were here
If
last
you have
time?
at least one success, you manifest whatever you wanted to manifest.
Put a
Not
shotgun.
overcoat over there.
I just like if
Trouble
anybody's
by me,
gonna
mother
talk to
trucker.
us-
Is the gate there?
Mhm.
Is it open?
Mm-hmm. It looks exactly like how it did when you guys pulled up that night.
Fateful
Yep.
yesterday.
That
So I'll
fateful
just throw the
yesterday.
pipe wrench over my shoulder and start walking toward the gate.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
I dragged my
Your
feet.
boat is getting closer and closer to this
Closer?
boathouse.
Should we
Can
like
I
wait for
see
the boat?
them?
Not yet. They're on the other side still.
Are there people and chanting happening here? No? Okay.
Other than the sound of a boat, it's quiet.
But the boat's getting closer.
Is it like a dock? Was it like a boat ramp?
So it's a boathouse. You actually you go all the way into the little the boathouse,
Yeah.
and then there's little ladders to climb up out of your boat up onto
Oh,
the
so
deck.
Okay.
if somebody's coming with a boat, they're gonna go into the boathouse. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like we'd be like, I mean, this wasn't a boat here coming last time, so I guess
That's true.
let's go after the boat.
Yeah.
Dream boat.
Huh.
I just tromp after Daniel.
So I guess we're heading into the boathouse.
You guys cautiously open the door to the boathouse. It creaks as it opens. There's nothing other than the sound of a boat heading towards the boathouse.
If anybody's
Nothing.
in here, like, wanting to talk to us or whatever, can we please just get this over with?
Better not be Black Adam.
I will punch you in the face. If you're Black Adam. If you're not, I'm
You're
not.
here to kill me, clap your hands.
I just
Oh, if
want to
something
make
clapped.
sure. I just want to make sure there's not a tentacle thing climbing up out of the middle of the boathouse.
Sure. I really okay, my question is, if we're gonna have this lucid dream, all of us being together nonsense, is my body really getting restful sleep?
Almost certainly not.
That's what I just want to sleep.
Didn't know from
Same.
experience.
Your boat starts to pull into the. You're close enough to the boathouse as you're pulling in that you can see that there are people standing in the boathouse.
So I recognize them.
They're too far away for that yet, but you can see that some of them are armed.
I will slow down.
You cannot.
Oh.
You have no control over the speed or direction of this boat.
I will say, I'm not pointing anything at the boat. I have no idea who it is. I wanted to have something.
Okay. I'm gonna keep my hands on the side so it's like visible that I'm
Mhm.
not doing anything, and then just continue on in.
Those of you inside can see a boat with a figure on it approaching.
Does it look like he's wearing blue jeans?
Yes.
Or a
If he's
jean
wearing
jacket?
jeans, shoot him!
Does he have tentacles?
Wait till you can see the blue of their denim.
Just wait it out, I guess.
All right, so
Yeah.
as the boat rolls in, you at about the same time you all realize it's these 5 yahoos standing there, and you guys realize that this is
Nick.
Nick.
You
guys.
You're here.
Why?
He's part of the trauma bond somehow.
I guess.
Welcome. We don't know why we're here. Don't ask.
Why are y'all here, but I had to come in through a boat?
I mean, we were trauma bonded differently than you,
That's because
probably.
we're the main party.
And you need outside help to get things done, I see.
Okay, so we have I'm assuming that this is
All right,
Us.
we're all here.
We're all
get
together.
it over with.
Do you get out of the boat?
Is there a rope in the boat?
Mhm.
Okay, I will tie it off and then climb the ladder to get out.
As you climb the ladder to get out, you see floating in the water in the boathouse, is sort of under where they're standing, so you didn't notice it at first. There is a dead white rabbit, a very familiar looking rabbit.
No.
Uh-oh.
What?
We don't
killed
see it.
Cthulhu?
We don't see it.
I recognize the rabbit?
Yeah, you turned something into this rabbit.
Oh! Yes! Oh, bunny,
None
yes.
of us were there and we followed this.
No, he said rabbit, I said bunny, so it's like
2 totally different species.
two different things, yes.
Sure.
Is dead?
It looks
It
dead.
looks dead? Okay. I am very cautiously going to climb the ladder and get out. So, remember when I mentioned I turned the monster thing to a bunny?
Yeah.
In your dreams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunny down there.
I'm sorry.
What?
There's a bunny down there. I don't know if it's dead or not.
This is where you saw the tentacle thing?
I saw it in the water on an island, but, I turned it to a bunny so I could get away. And we throw rocks at it, see if
Do
it
I
wakes up.
have mage whatever
Mage thought.
mage sense or
You can.
am I catching anything?
This whole thing is everything you're seeing is laced with magic somehow.
In a magic dream.
Okay, can I look down at the bunny?
I mean, you can see that there's a bunny floating there in the water. Its
Oh
neck
my
is
gosh.
snapped.
Is it magic?
I mean, yes, but so's the water and the boathouse and the boat and
Is
your
there like
clothes
a-
and your.
There's like an oar, in the boathouse there's like sticks, something, and I'll be like, all right, I will go, or I will manifest a stick.
So
Go to
the
get
way
out.
I'm seeing this is that two things could have happened. Either I turned it to a bunny and something killed it, or
Did you not kill the bunny?
I didn't kill it. I just turned it to a bunny
In the middle of the ocean.
in a little tiny island in the
Okay.
middle of a lake.
Was it swimming when you turned it into it? I mean, do
Bunnies
rabbits
swim.
swim? They could have drowned.
I don't know.
That thing looks like it has its neck snapped.
Yeah, not drown.
Oh.
The other thing is, if something did kill it, did the thing that it originally was get out?
What?
I mean, I would think it would turn back into whatever it was.
Oh, that's a deep
Yeah,
voice,
but it
though.
wouldn't be a bunny anymore.
Yeah. So if it was going to, like, I don't. How's it getting out?
I don't know, feeding yourself into the universe.
But you
It's
made it
using life
into a
magic.
bunny.
Can I cut off the lucid part of my dream
I have
and
no
make
idea
this
how
go
long it's gonna
away?
stay a bunny, but
You do not have access to magic in
Okay.
this dream.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have my cell phone?
No. You'd have to manifest it.
I'm gonna try.
Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
but it's a dream. You can just take it, right?
Wits crafts at a -1.
Where are you gonna go right now?
Good question. Sorry.
Oh wait, -1. That means I don't get any dice. Never
So you have a
mind.
chance die.
Oh no, your chance die was a 10, so that was a. That,
That
Yeah,
was-
if it was a 10, then you
Oh.
succeeded anyway.
Oh, okay.
So you are able to manifest your phone.
I'm gonna try to call Alpheus.
Okay.
How does dream telephone communicate?
I need
Dream to reality.
an intelligence composure roll to see if you can remember his phone number.
No, because I called him or I texted him
Uh-huh.
so that he had my number.
Uh-huh.
So it is in my phone.
It's not in this phone.
Okay.
Because you just manifested.
Okay, you said intelligence what?
Intelligence composure. That's 2 attributes instead of a skill.
Oh, okay. Hands are small. Okay. It's a 9. 9. 6.
Man, I have
5
this
and
number.
2
I have
sevens
been-
or 7
I have a
is
great
success?
memory.
No. So 2 successes.
All right. You do indeed remember his number. You type it in. You call him. And it rings. And it rings. And it rings. And it goes to voicemail.
Hey, Alpheus. This is that person you met earlier. I'm not gonna say my real name because I feel like I'm learning. But
I'm that corporate goth.
I don't. I was the one with the black lipstick. I don't even know if you're gonna get this, but like we're all stuck in a dream at that boathouse. I don't know what this means. So like, call me back, I guess. Thanks. It was worth a shot.
I still want to fish out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so with your oar, you're able to fish the body of this bunny out of the water. You dump it onto the floor.
Like poke it a bit.
It may very well just be nothing, and it's part of my imagination. But
It is a waterlogged bunny that has had its neck snapped.
Something killed it.
So you're our resident like nature expert.
I
Can
am.
you see anything about this bunny that we're not seeing?
what can I do to see Bunny roll?
Roll me wits composure. This does count as a perception check.
Oh, nice.
Death understanding bunny.
So I can reroll 8 through.
What is bunny?
What is bunny bed? Look at that's. I do like that. Yep.
Bunny's
3
dead.
successes.
Huh?
Bunny dead.
The bunny has had its neck snapped.
Nip snipped.
Nip snicked. Its neck snapped. And it was not done by any animal that you've ever seen.
Alright.
Okay.
So like
So-
human, or like
Can,
Not animal.
like,
Vegetable.
so I have a little dot in time.
Huh?
Can I see the past of this bunny?
As you reach out to try and access your magic here in the dream, you can't.
Alright. Well, thank you for showing us this rabbit.
Now
Can
let
we be
us.
done?
I'm looking around for anything different that I might notice from... Alright,
What did we?
Was there signs like a sign out front of this building?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go look at it? Can I actually read it? Because you can't read in a dream.
You can.
Shit.
It says Burlington Public Boathouse.
Okay. This is it's not a dream. It is a self-imposed magical dream, most likely. So, I mean, at this point, you're just making us wait.
I pinch Jamal.
Ow!
I
Oh.
haven't tried that. Remember, I poked Zach.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, but
Sorry.
what if I knock someone out?
It's because they know if you die in a dream, you wake up. But since it's not
Yeah,
an
I don't
ordinary
know
dream,
that.
this is not an ordinary dream.
As you are all trying to figure out what's going on, you all realize that in the water, just beneath the surface, stretched across the entirety of all the water you can see, is that weird, fleshy mass that made up the tentacle.
No!
It's so massive you almost didn't even notice that that's what it was.
It's like that puzzle that comes into view and you're like...
Yep.
I don't want to be in the boathouse.
No!
So I was like, how about we go
Is
to
Shoot it, shoot it.
moving?
It's so massive, like it stretches farther than you can see,
I
but it doesn't seem to be like it's just you can tell that mass is just beneath the surface of all the water.
I don't think it would
Wait,
matter
if
if I
that's
shot.
that, what is this bunny? If that is that, what is this bunny?
It's a real good question.
I don't want to be in the boathouse. Let's go.
Let's get out.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Denny's.
Yes.
So as you guys leave the boathouse, as you're walking past the gate, you walk past a puddle, and in the puddle, it's the same way.
I don't think I'm ever gonna shower.
Is
Ever
this
again.
just like all
if we're gonna
water
ruin
now?
you will.
Okay, but I'm gonna go look for more water.
No chinchillas.
Any
tried
water
that.
that you find is this way.
Can I find a sink and like fill up a cup, and the water will be flesh monster?
Yeah, so it looks like it's just beneath the surface of it. No matter what angle you look at it, it looks like just beneath the surface of the water.
Maybe it's very clear water.
Okay, it's fine.
Actually, all the water is black and brackish.
Even the sink water?
Okay.
I'm gonna do something kind of stupid, maybe.
Okay.
Take your glass of water, because I don't want the thing coming out of the lake, and poke it, and see if there's any movement.
When you
Water?
poke it, that mass undulates.
Mm.
And it
Does it
undulates
undulate
everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you're standing there and you like poke it and you can see in the lake, the whole thing goes...
No!
Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me. What happens if I dump out the water?
You just dump out the water.
And then there's a puddle with flesh
Mhm.
monster. Okay, cool.
So
A hint would be nice.
Okay,
This is something like.
But
like,
remember the boats?
I
In the
don't wanna
lake, there
get
was
in a
like a
boat.
reversed thing
I-
going on.
No.
I'm not getting in a boat.
No. Remember
What?
there was reports of seeing
Hey,
stairs
hey,
under the water.
oh.
Wait,
Yeah,
didn't you see stairs in the water at one point?
I did. Yeah,
But did you tell us?
I don't
remember.
I
think
did
we
tell
ever
you
told-
guys.
What's
I
that?
don't know that.
I think I said I saw stairs in the water.
He told you guys.
Yeah, I
Oh,
told you
so-
guys.
And
Well, you saw stairs to nowhere in a reflection
Right.
off the water.
Mm-hmm.
what if water is
Where
like
did you see
kind
those
of portal?
stairs?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, what
a
if
couple
this is a thing
miles
trying to get from
south
one side to the other side?
in the lake reflection?
Let's go there.
What?
Okay. Hey.
I don't know. Bad experience.
I have watched horror movies.
That is, I mean, it's the only lead I can think of right now.
Wait
I
a
mean, I
minute.
could just.
Unless you count the big scary ass.
I mean,
I'm
look,
gesturing at it,
Brayden
not
doesn't
even
do
looking
well
at
in
it.
puzzles.
I'm like,
I'm gonna
wait,
text Alpheus.
Wait a minute. If
Your phone.
you saw a reflection of stairs in the water, and they seemed to go up, right? It was just like a reflection of something.
Yeah, it was like stairs that led up to nowhere, but reflected in the water. And when he turned around to see where they would have been in the real world, they were not there.
Yeah, so if we can pretend like maybe there was something in reflection, then there's
Can I
something.
craft an
we
exit
can't
out of
see.
this?
I was just saying that too.
Craft a what?
An exit out of this place?
Like manifest one in the dream.
Manifest an exit out of this dream?
What would your exit be?
The stairs.
A door? Stairs, yeah.
Stairs?
Stairs to a golden door that is a way out of this.
Or wits crafts at a -1.
Wits crafts at a -1. Okay. I don't suppose MacGyver would come into this. Figuring out.
Okay.
Okay. 2 successes.
You manifest exactly what you just described. Stairs that lead up to a golden door.
Bye.
You open the door and it's just a door. There's not.
Fair enough.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Get me off these stairs.
So take us where you saw the reflection last time.
Sure.
Gosh.
I'll
Are we
take him to
walking?
where I saw the reflection.
So as you walk along the road leads. Goes right next to the lake, and as you're walking, occasionally you see that whole mass just.
It's trying to get.
Okay.
When we wake up, we've got to talk to Alphonsus.
Alphesis.
Alphesis.
Is that right?
Alpheus.
Alpheus.
Okay, Gavin.
Alpheus.
Alfalfa.
Alphesis.
Oh, shit.
Alphino!
I think something's trying to come through, and the water's a portal.
I think you might be right.
We're low level nobodies. Why?
I love that Ember now talks with D&D terms. No, I can't. I'm out of spell slots.
No.
So you guys get to Waterfront Park,
Mm-hmm.
and in Waterfront Park there are 3 rowboats turned over of those rowboats of the Strangewood, and exactly where it would have been the reflection is the stairs leading up to nothing.
Can we get? No, please
I'm gonna touch the stairs.
They're stairs. They're made of stone.
Alright.
I guess.
Okay,
I'm
here we
going
go.
up.
I'm going up the stairs.
With my
Every step you take on the stairs, you all... I say hear, but it's almost feel, because it's so low, this almost infrasound pulse. Every time.
I don't like anything about this, man.
Okay, hold on.
And
hold on,
as
hold
that
on.
pulse, you can see it run across the water and cause the undulation.
I don't
Well,
like
okay,
it.
what if
Yeah,
are we
I
going
know.
to the supernal realm or are we going to the abyss?
I feel like, this is a pretty abyssal.
This is the only freaking clue that we've got that has led us anywhere.
Where did the
Yeah.
boats go?
You probably get into the boat to go across whatever hellish
That's
Like
I'm not
this
getting
is.
the boat. I'll do the stairs.
stairs.
So there are 10 steps to the stairs. How many do you go up?
No. I don't like that you're asking
I'm
that.
gonna
Well, you
go all the
also-
way to the top.
Oh.
Every step. And each time it gets stronger. And the wave in the water is bigger.
Tiptoe!
I'm trying.
I think this is a bad idea, guys.
Until you reach the very top, at which point it goes totally silent. The water, the entire lake, any water you can see, becomes smooth as glass.
I think this is a real bad idea.
And you hear, all of you hear something. It is a sound that should never have existed. And at that point, you all snap awake in your homes, drenched in sweat, with that sound burned into your mind.
Immediately texting Alphesans.
Alphesans!
I'm gonna-
Okay, I'm gonna look at my phone. Did I call? Damn it!
I'm gonna
Alpheus.
go to a very special cupboard. On a very, very... Pull out some moonshine.
So nice.
So
And
go ahead.
down the glass, straight,
Immediately.
and then just sit there and just repeat. Fudge.
As you sit there, all you can hear echoing in your mind is the pulsing.
And I'm gonna pull out my phone and send off a quick message on the Discord server for these guys. It's like, Tell me y'all were just there. Tell me y'all heard the sound. Tell me we need to get the mages involved.
Yeah.
I messaged Ram like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Thesis.
Alpheus.
I'm
Alpheus.
never gonna remember now. I had it.
Alpheus.
Alpheus. I'm calling him. I don't know what time it is.
Yeah,
Don't
and I
care.
texted him, didn't care what time
Don't
it
care.
was either.
Yeah.
It rings 5 times
Oh no.
before he picks up, and you hear a very tired voice on the other end. Hey, what's going on?
I'm so sorry to be calling you, but we have a situation.
Of course you do.
I know.
Call waiting. Everybody else coming in.
We all had a dream at the boathouse, and there's this giant flesh thing undulating in the water, and we went up some stairs, and there was some pulsing and a sound, and I think we need help.
And all of you had this dream?
Every single one of us, including
Okay.
Nick.
Somebody will be by shortly.
Thank you. By where? We're all separate places.
He hangs up.
He's coming to get us.
He's coming to get us?
I don't know. He hung up.
He's coming to us.
Like you were there.
I will wish I was not.
But you were.
I was I?
I was waiting for one of you to just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Nope, nothing happened to me.
I don't have the Discord,
So
so.
I'm calling you because I know
I'm,
that you're
I'm
not
looking
looking at
around
the
my
Discord.
apartment with my, just looking to see if there's anything out of the ordinary now. Now that I've been,
Interesting.
now that I've
So,
been,
as you look around your apartment, from where the windows are that face out towards the lake, from where your building is, you can actually see a little bit of the lake.
Mhm.
And for the briefest moment as you look out, there's this like purple miasma rising up off the water that slowly dissipates.
What time is it?
It's the middle of the night.
Time to leave that beachfront property.
well, it's not beachfront, but it's real close. And I'm gonna get out of bed and start getting dressed. I didn't want to sleep anyway.
And I'm calling Zach.
Yes.
You were there, right?
Yes.
No. You were there, right? No, I was not at the stairs by the lake.
I called Alpheus. I think someone's gonna come by to get you.
Yes.
Just so you know, you really need to get Discord, man.
No.
Daniel,
Yes.
about 5 minutes after you've been getting ready,
Uh-huh.
there is a knock at your front door.
I'm gonna just kind of peer out the window.
There is a black SUV parked out in front of your building.
Oh,
So I
government.
recognize.
Nope, no,
Nope.
you do not.
You do not.
The government's after you.
Ask who they're with.
Friend or foe.
Don't give consent.
Just a second. And I'm gonna go to my toolbox, grab a wrench, and leave it behind my back. Hello? And I'll go down to the front door, sort of crack it. Hello?
It's Lorcan.
Ah, okay. Gonna drop the wrench, open things up, and step out.
Get me out of here.
Just so you know, I saw something in the lake.
Wonderful.
Purple miasma thing
Lorcan's
rising
like,
off
I
of it.
hate
Just right after,
So
right after a shared dream with my cohort. I suppose you'd call them now.
What are
My
we
newly
now?
formed cabal.
As you step out, Alpheus opens the back door for the SUV and gestures you in. He and Lorcan get in the front, and they drive off, and they go around. And next up, you recognize you're stopping at Jamal's house. Same thing. Lorcan gets out, goes up and knocks on the door.
I check the peephole first, make sure.
It's Lorcan.
I get out and immediately I'm talking like 5,000 miles an hour, describing everything. that we saw.
He's just sort of, complacently, and they usher you into the SUV. And you guys drive off to go get Nick.
How do you know where I live?
That's a great question. How do they know where any of you live?
really good at guessing.
So same thing, Nick. You hear
I will slowly look out, keeping a hand on my gun.
Lorcan and Alpheus, black SUV.
conspiracies are true.
The conspiracies were true, I would have had them show up in a black helicopter.
Fair point. Okay, I guess I'll get in. I'm keeping my gun with me though.
Let's see, next up would be...
Is-
Actually, it's you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
So the three of you now realize that I
Yep.
live in a
So yeah, the
trailer.
three of you pull into this actually fairly nice trailer park, little ways outside of town.
Like, what the hell?
Lorcan gets out, goes up to one of the doors.
So if you know trailers, I open the one where the bathroom has easy access to the side. Just look, it's like, oh, for hell's sakes. And then I'll close that, go back to the other side to the other door. Hey, welcome.
Come on.
Oh, welcome.
I like close the door and lock it. I'm like disheveled. Like whenever you've seen Zach, he's sort of, you know, has somewhat of an entire he is just like put on like pants, no belt,
I was going to say pants and a wife beater, no belt.
Yeah.
pants, wife beater, and then just I have pulled on like a checkered red and black flannel, but have yet to button it up.
So
So just
is this one of those like executive SUVs that has like a liquor cabinet in it?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
No. They
Yeah.
Yep. And then you guys go to Piper's house.
Do you want to leave the cat or take the cat?
I don't know how long we've been gone. So as we've been, because we've had
Yep,
some
yeah,
time.
yeah, you've had some time.
I have a little go bag with the cat food, and I'm bringing the cat.
All right,
I don't know how long we're gonna be gone.
Let's take the cat.
Let's roll out.
Get in.
Yep.
I've stuffed
Oh, hey, guys.
a couple things at this point. I
Okay.
grabbed like the
Yeah.
bronze stuff.
Yeah, you
Whatever.
grabbed-
I'm like, all right, that's it. Zip it up.
We have little go bags.
That's smart.
And my cat.
Of course. So you are all crammed into this SUV, and they start driving. Lorcan and Alpheus are quiet. They say nothing. There's no music played. Like, they are both dead silent.
I leaned up against the window trying to get some sleep.
I'm gonna pull out a flask from my flannel and just pass it to you. Take your time with that moonshine.
If your cat is like my cat, she would be like,
She's a pretty chill cat, but there is an occasional just like.
Is your cat magical too?
Not that I know of. I don't know if you can awaken it. Can you awaken animals?
Neither of them respond to you.
guys.
They take you guys through the north part of town, across the bridge out of town.
To a
Hello.
Oh no.
They take a turn off into a wooded park area,
Are you gonna kill us?
Yep.
and they pull off of the main road through this wooded area onto a gravel road.
Oh, we did.
You can have familiars.
Familiar.
You can have a familiar. And they drive until they come to a stop at there's a small clearing through the trees, and there is the remains of like a chimney, so you can still see the fireplace, and it's like a stone chimney, and that's it. And then there's some other rubble around, and they both get out.
I
That
guess
as
we're
well.
supposed to follow.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you try to kill me out here,
Okay, the six of us.
Well done.
I followed you.
We're not.
No, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die.
They walk you guys over to the chimney,
to the chimney.
and both Lorcan and Alpheus pull out knives.
oh
Oh.
dear, here we go.
Okay.
They cut their palms
Ah!
and smear blood onto the stone, and as they do, what was the fireplace becomes a portal. Let's
I'm
go.
tired.
We're going on an adventure.
Oh, okay.
I'll go in.
Wait, you're just gonna go in?
And I'll be second.
It's magic.
So it's also weird because the fireplace is like you don't actually have to crouch down that enough. Like you have to crouch down a little bit, but like it's bigger than a regular fireplace would have been.
Okay.
And so he goes in. They just look at the rest of you.
Yeah, I'm the
Where-
second
Right.
one through.
We can go.
Where are we going? Can I ask that?
To one of our sanctums.
Okay.
Oh dear. Okay.
Is my
Yep,
cat
yeah.
gonna be able to get through it?
Yes.
Okay.
Asking the important questions.
I like basically I'm like, My job is, should I call my job? Or...
How about we deal with ourselves first?
See, if you work for yourself, you wouldn't have.
So
these
as you
questions.
all step through, you find yourselves in like an atrium of sorts. It's made of old brick. There's like a fountain in the middle. There's like little benches around, and there's like 5 different like hallways that lead off of it.
5 hallways.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very nice home.
And they lead you guys down one of the hallways,
Okay.
and you pass several doors. Each door is like made of a dark, rich wood.
Purple.
No. Until they get to the end of this hallway, and they open up a big double door, and it's this sort of library setup. Except, most libraries don't have a set of runes inscribed on the floor in a circle. And as you guys step in and they close, both of them step in, they close the doors behind you. Most places also don't have that same sort of runes inscribed on the inside of the door.
Oh.
And Lorcan just is like, Lorcan sort of gestures, says, "Grab a cushion, take a seat."
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Do so.
Yep.
And so he and Alpheus are both going to grab one. Everybody sits down in a circle inside the runes. And Lorcan sits down. He says, "Okay, I don't know what you saw, but assuming you're willing, I'll work some magic and we'll find out what."
Okay.
You're gonna
Yes,
like
please.
get into our heads or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I've already told you, but be my guest.
Sure.
Yeah. Whatever.
So he pulls out a small bowl and lights 3 sticks of incense. It's a bowl full of sand. He puts the incense in the sand. He pulls out a blood orange and draws his knife again and cuts into the orange so that some of the juice spills over the sand and sets it down, and he assumes a meditative pose. All right, close your eyes, and if you know how to meditate, try and meditate.
Don't be invading my personal thoughts.
Let's not respond to that.
Jamal settles in pretty quickly.
Are any of you resisting?
Nope.
Okay.
Resistant?
Or resisting?
Oh, resisting. Oh, no.
No.
Okay. After a moment, your mind's blank, and you feel like you're being drawn in further inside yourself than you've been before. Almost like you're being drawn through a keyhole until you find yourself in the same place you were. Except you're seeing it from externally. Like, you see the dream you just had, but you see you guys standing there, and you are now external to yourselves. You are
So-
seeing your
It's
memories.
like a movie replay.
Yeah. And Alpheus and Lorcan are with you. Except while you are here, Lorcan's skin is like ash gray, and he has red eyes, and you occasionally, out of like the side of your vision, it almost looks like he might have horns and like bat wings.
Oh.
That's terrifying.
Oh, great. We're traveling with the devil.
No, the devil's red.
I love how matter of fact, like, you're like, no, the devil is red. And your memory begins to play out in front of you.
Putting down this frantic call on her made-up phone.
Can I keep a perception to see if I can see anything that we might have missed?
Yes. Go ahead and roll that for me.
I
And
was
can I
actually
can I
just about to
patience
ask
this as I
Uh-huh.
I know that, okay.
So what would that be?
Wits composure.
What's composure?
I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah, that would. I was
What?
just about to ask.
I think I would just do it instinctively too, because
I'm
like,
gonna
where
put
the
a
hell
little
did it come
power
from?
into this while I'm at it.
Okay.
5.
Nope. No success.
And I can only use as many as.
You can only use 1 willpower per roll, and you only have as many as you have dots. You only get 1 back per day.
So
Yeah.
6, but a critical success.
Okay.
So
That
Sorry,
one
so
is a little
10,
cocked, I think.
9 and 8.
And then re-roll the 10.
2 successes.
Isn't there something if you have to re-roll a 10 twice?
No, you just keep rolling 10.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
keep rolling 10s, it keeps re-rolling until you don't roll a 10.
Okay. 1 success.
One was a 6.
Okay, so we have a critical success, we have a 1, we have a 2. What did Jamal get?
I got one.
1?
And I'm still working on mine.
Were you going to make that roll, Nick?
I did not succeed.
Okay.
Okay, so I have 4 successes.
Okay.
Almost a critical.
For my regular successes, as you are observing your memories, it's really weird because like it's a feeling that you get. It's just like a general aura that you pick up. It feels like something is watching you through the dream. You didn't pick up on it while you were there, but replaying the memories, you're picking up on, like, it feels like there is this entity observing you the whole time.
That's horrifying.
Well, now there's 6 of us watching.
For my critical success,
Was it us?
occasionally you can see like patterns on things arrange themselves into the shape of an eye.
Okay.
And you realize that whatever the entity in the lake is, it is watching you through this dream, observing your actions, almost sort of testing you, like poking and prodding to see how you respond to things.
Okay.
The dream us, not the us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So question with that then, when we got to the stairs, what was it surprised that we made the stairs, or was it just like, ah, yes, they found the stair? Like, what was it sort of?
You feel like
sense?
it might have been creating things just ahead of where you went to see how you responded.
Okay.
So like the stairs weren't there until somebody mentioned the stairs or thought about like, hey, we should go check the stairs, and then it like created it so that you could go explore
Okay.
it.
I say I'm like something's watching us.
Alpheus sort of nods along with you guys. He says,
And I'll sort of occasionally point out like the more obvious ones.
I was gonna say, so as he points it out, you guys can tell. So like at one point while you're in the boathouse, one of the patterns of knots on one of the boards slowly forms itself and almost comes raised up out of the board in the shape of an eye.
Oh, gross.
And you can just, you start to pick that up in like different patterns and stuff that like this, whatever you're in was sentient and aware
Slit
and observing
pupil
you.
or dotted pupil.
Slit. Think like what a squid or a frog would have, like that.
Gross. Gross.
I agree.
In the future, we all need poking sticks.
Well, we tried to poke it.
Well, we didn't see
We didn't poke it in the eye.
We didn't poke it.
The memory continues until the point where Daniel climbs to the very top, and as that unspeakable noise blasts out, you see the memory shatter and dissolve around you. And at this moment, it jerks all of you out of your meditation. And as you're jerked out, for the first time, you guys experience Lorcan's Nimbus. So you can see that as he's sitting there meditating, it almost looks like there's like a dark flame or like it feels, it's hard to describe because it's like the opposite of regular fire, but it almost outlines like it's just behind him and it's casting a shadow, and you feel fear well up inside you. Whatever your most terrifying memory is, suddenly you find it welling up into the forefront of your mind as his magic ends. And as it does, he coughs and spits out blood, and you see blood starting to come from his ears and from his nose and out of his eyes.
I just told you all the
Doesn't
details.
look healthy.
Oh,
I'll be fine.
Is that your normal magic thing?
No.
oh, jeez.
Outside influence.
And he spits out more blood.
You sure you're gonna be okay?
I'll be fine.
Oh, I don't like how you said Ireland.
But
What'd you learn?
The natives who used to live around this lake had a legend about it.
Oh,
They called it the entrance to another world. Most people assumed that meant lands beyond their own, right? You cross the lake, and on the west side of the lake was it's no longer the land that their tribe claimed. But there is something more to the lake. There are more mages here
and more have been drawn here than any other place in this region. It calls to people. People have seen things, ruins, cities, castles in the water. But there's also something else in that water.
Yep.
There's a pathway through it, and for some reason you have drawn the attention of whatever lives in the space between what's on the other side of the lake and what's on our side.
So when you say pathway, kind of like through the abyss?
That's what I was thinking.
That's what we think anyway.
To the.
That's what I think.
The supernal realm.
Maybe to somewhere. I don't know anyone who's ever made it through to the other side.
Wait, you said there were ruins and castles, right?
People have seen things, and sometimes if you venture out onto the lake, you'll find little pieces.
The little island I was at had ruins.
Does anyone know where Atlantis is?
It was
And I
before the world as we know it. It wasn't ever here.
Could there be ruins of it in the lake?
That's what some people think. But what I know is that thing is dangerous and powerful, and for some reason you have drawn its attention.
So is there a way you know of to stay clear of its influence?
He's gonna look at the blood that he coughed up on the ground. Not really, no.
So why aren't we coughing up blood?
You weren't the ones seeing the memory. You didn't cast the spell. It wasn't your focus that was required to maintain it.
Okay, gotcha.
But this isn't just like what happens when you do magic. This was
No, that normally the it would have just faded out, dissolved into mist. The memory would have ended. But whatever that noise was, whatever that sound was, it threw my concentration out. I've never experienced something like that.
Was this the same sound I heard during my
Yes.
awakening?
Yes, it was.
I'm assuming that should something like this happen again, we should not open doors. Not that we opened it this time, but like...
What do you mean?
The doors at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
There wasn't a door at the top of the stairs.
Oh, it was
The
just
stairs just lead up, and then it's just like a straight, like it's a staircase
to nowhere.
to nowhere,
Okay.
to
In my
nothing.
brain, I thought that there was a doorway.
No,
Me too.
there was on the stairway that he manifested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even when he was talking about the thing that he saw before, in my head, I just
Me too.
automatically
No,
put
Yep,
on
nope,
a door.
nope.
Always just like stairs.
Okay.
Huh.
There's not even a landing. It's just like stairs, and then it's just done.
Are there some higher ups that should know about this?
Maybe.
like how grand of a scale is this problem?
I mean, a gigantic tentacle
I-
monster from another plane of existence has taken interest in the six of us.
Right, but we don't know if this is like an everyday thing. We're brand new to this.
Considering the
Most
reaction
people don't encounter this thing in the way that you do, or seemingly as often as you do.
Do you know what
Perfect.
this? Do you know what this thing is?
We know that it is something that resides in the abyss, and it's big.
Great.
There are people that you can tell about it, but you're new.
Do I recognize this as the same creature that attacked me on the island?
Similar, but different. That was two different. Like the thing that attacked you and like the tentacles that dragged the island under the water were
Yeah.
two separate
You
things,
kill its
made of the same
baby?
thing, but
So-
two separate things.
Would I get a sense that the second thing that takes the island was something like this?
Hmm.
Yeah.
You killed its child.
But you're new, untested, untried.
So if
Don't know
it's-
how people will respond if they know that you've drawn the attention of this thing.
Yeah.
Turn one little monster into a bunny and they hold a grudge. Jeez.
So we've drawn its attention, and I'm assuming that we're not going to be able to undraw its attention.
I don't know.
So how do we get tried and tested?
You'll meet with the Concilium. If I were you, I would not share with anybody else what you experienced.
Well, I mean,
Oh, no,
you're
no.
the only one we know.
I was gonna
So.
say, everybody else will think we're nuts.
Well, that's not true. We do also know Blackout.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
well,
definitely
imagine
wouldn't
the
tell
next
him.
time we see Blackout, we're gonna punch
I
his
don't
head
know who
off.
that is.
We don't
You're
want anyone
better
to
off.
think that the best way to attract attention is to just kill us. So.
There's a little bit more that you are not aware of yet.
Of course.
Great. Can't wait.
The incident at the boathouse. And as he's talking, Alpheus kind of looks at him like, wait, you're going to tell him? The incident at the boathouse that you were a part of. Every mage who's gone near the boathouse has seen the ripples from what happened. But it's wrapped up in all sorts of different kinds of magic. Whatever you did or were a part of at the boathouse, we don't know what happened, and we're not sure when or where it happened.
What do you mean where?
What do you mean when?
What do you mean? No mages can see what happened.
In other words, clarify.
Who the hell was there helping us?
We don't know.
There was like 30 people there, right? And this is me asking Lance. There was like 30 people.
You guys saw like 8 or 9 people as you were leaving, and you know there were probably a few more than that because you could kind of sense the movement.
Well, like and the chanting and all that. There was like 30 people chanting.
But those were
Then
the
plus
cultists.
like the 2 dozen that were sort of converging on the area.
So none of them remember anything?
We haven't been able to track down anyone who was involved except for Renee Linares, and she has no memory of ever being kidnapped.
So you guys can't get a hold of
We might
Adam?
have.
Or...
He has no memory of being there.
Do you know an Oni masked ninja dude?
But what about that bleeding bush?
Do you know that,
And
Nimbus?
again, Alpheus is just going to be like, oh, great. We know that there is a mage around Burlington that leaves that as his nimbus. We also know that he actively is working with the Celesti. It's a group that they worship and trade with the Abyss.
Oh,
And
great.
trade with... What do they trade?
They get power
Soul
in exchange for
hunter?
increasing the Abyss or giving it ways to come back into the world.
Shit.
Okay.
Of course.
So they can
That's-
just cast powerful spells
Did
willy-nilly
we just
because...
interrupt Did we interrupt the ritual and cause it to backfire?
Based
badly?
on what you're describing, you interrupted something.
Oh no.
But we can't... Anyone who goes there, we can tell that there's all sorts of magic and mana all wrapped up in that boathouse. But we don't know where it came from, and we don't know what happened, and no one, except for you, is aware of what happened at that boathouse or can explain anything.
So,
Do we need to go back to the boathouse?
Not tonight.
Not without
not
a plan,
tonight.
I wouldn't think.
so you're telling me that in a metaphorical society of superheroes that we've run into, that we are somehow more screwed over than everybody else so far? We have connection somehow to this abyss thing?
I think we landed
Got a
ourselves smack dab in the middle of a 3-way war is what it sounds like.
You have drawn its attention. I don't know why. And I can't say that other people haven't. I don't know.
But we're the only ones that remember anything from the boathouse.
You are the only people that we've been able to find in the last day that were there and recall what happened. Now, granted, we don't have a lot to go on. All we have are the people that you say you saw, Renee Linares, and yourselves. Renee is a sleeper, so we're not entirely surprised that she doesn't have any memory, but we can't find any evidence of what happened to her after she was taken.
Why do you believe us about that initial story?
About her being taken?
Well, about, like...
The boathouse.
The boathouse.
I mean, we can tell that something happened there, but there's too much all wrapped up in it, and we haven't been able to unravel it.
And I imagine you've got some magic-y ways of sensing whether we're telling the truth or not.
I mean, we all
Could,
are all
but-
telling the same story too.
We also, I don't know why you would lie.
Okay.
Alpheus's job is not just to induct new people, but also to keep tabs on them and try and get a feel for if they are who they say they are, what they do, and as far as he could tell, none of you were lying, and none of you knew more than you said you did. None of you seemed to already know about magic and the way that our society works, which tells me you were not plants, you're not other agents, so I have no reason not to believe you. And like I said, we can tell that something is wrapped up in that boathouse. But it didn't happen. It either didn't happen yesterday or it didn't happen just yesterday.
Time is broken.
There's a lot wrapped up in it. And it may not have happened exactly where the... It may have not have happened where the boathouse is currently.
So do you know how time-space works in the Abyss?
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's
So that would make it make sense, right? If there was something there that opened a spot in the Abyss, like an overlap?
Except if that's what happened, you would all be dead.
So if there's any kind of an overlap in the Abyss in here, it's just destruction.
And Alpheus stands up, he's like, I'm gonna go get some drinks. And Lorcan is...
Make mine a double.
Lorcan
whatever it is.
takes a moment, he says, this is not something I would expect you to be able to understand at your current level. The Abyss is everything that is not supposed to be. It is the antithesis of what is real. The laws that govern the Abyss are all of the laws that are not supposed to exist. So if you found yourself in the Abyss, you would not be able to return unscathed. Because the Abyss is anti-reality.
Are we not scathed?
That was like, we are scared.
You have awoken, but we can't find any trace of the Abyss on you.
That's
Including this?
It doesn't... It's strange and weird, but it doesn't reek of the Abyss.
that's something.
If you had bargained with the powers of the Abyss, if they had infected you, we would have noticed it while we've been watching you.
Yeah, but no, we didn't do any bargaining or anything
No.
like that. Now we came into contact with people that clearly were.
Mm-hmm.
So if they had brought over, like you got the little diagram that he showed us, right? If they had pulled this space into our space, but it wasn't us doing the bargaining. Now, if that place doesn't have any kind of order or reason like what we're accustomed to, would it not make sense that that bubble might be massive destruction, or it might just be total chaos as far as like, well, maybe it tripped backwards in time, or like half of it tripped backwards, half of it tripped forward?
The Abyss is antithetical to life.
Ah, okay.
If you had been in the Abyss, you either would have been consumed by it, or you would have been infected with it had you made it out. This is why no sane mage deals with the Abyss.
Gotcha.
The Abyss, its only desire is to grow bigger and contaminate more and more of reality.
Okay.
So, the Abyss was involved, but it did not actually happen in the Abyss.
I think we just need to, for now, get some rest. And then...
But are we gonna have that happen every time we try to go to sleep?
Fair question.
In their sanctum
Oh.
now, maybe.
Will the Sanctum help with that, or is this beyond the Sanctum magic?
the defenses that we have set up for this sanctum are... I doubt that they could hold up to whatever that thing is.
Cool.
Well, we might as well try and get some rest and tackle this tomorrow. Because
Again.
I'm so tired.
Alpheus comes back with a tray, and he's got, like, hot chocolate, some whiskey, like, he's got, like, a variety of different things, and he just brings it and starts, like, dishing people up.
Whiskey and the hot chocolate.
My
So,
man.
Alpheus,
That does sound nice.
did you get any calls or anything from a weird number?
Nope.
No? Okay. Just curious. I
It
kind of
was a-
figured it didn't work, but
Yeah, but man, it was a creative thing. I think it was a great idea. It just didn't work.
I did get the right number though.
That in and of itself is kind of
Good
impressive.
job.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Lorcan stands up and tries to clean up some of the blood on his shirt a little bit. He says, I would not discuss anything that I've told you here with anyone else.
They would think we're freaking nuts anyway.
Fair.
But even with
There's a lot of
mages-
politics involved in you and what happened at the boathouse and what's going on, because no one's sure what happened and everyone thinks it was somebody else.
And we were the only ones.
That got
There.
out.
Right. So I would avoid discussing a lot the exact details other than what you've already shared to lots of mages, if anything.
I assume except to you, because this seems pertinent in some way to a lot of different things. Like to you and Alpheus.
I would say share it with us, but that's up to you.
I bet you Black Adam's lying his ass off.
Maybe.
Seems like a thing he could
You see it. Honestly, I feel like if I didn't tell somebody that knew more about all of this shit than me, my head might explode.
I do feel like it's helpful to have context because some of this we just don't have any.
Nope.
Nope.
We don't know what the hell we're doing, and I'm so tired. Man, so could we have just like done less detective work and never ended up at the boathouse?
Probably, but then Renee might be dead, and we might have some weird Cthulhu creature that has just inhabited and eaten our town.
We didn't really stop it.
Well, no, we didn't stop it. We might have even made it worse.
Or we might have delayed something at least long enough for us to figure out what it is.
So we're all cursed, on top of being awakened, so that's cool.
Yep.
Well, can we? Should we sleep on this floor?
You can take us home.
So at this point, Lorcan has stepped out, and Alpheus is like, we can take you home, you can stay here, it's kind of up to you guys. I don't know that you'd want to stay in this particular room, but... And he kind of looks around, and you guys notice, like, so, like, on one of the bookcases, there's, like, a jar full of a blue liquid, and there's, like, an ashen gray hand with, like, these thick claws that look, and it's, like, just floating there in the jar. And he's like, I don't know that you want to stay in this room.
Okay, maybe not this room, but
Is there
honestly,
a room we can stay
yeah.
in?
A sitting room or something.
As long as you don't mind, like, doubling up.
I don't care.
We're gonna be roommates anyway.
Then yeah,
Yeah,
I think we
mine
can
is
find
better.
space for you guys.
I don't have my toothbrush.
That's the least of our worries.
Is it?
I mean, I brushed my
Missing one
teeth.
day is not gonna hurt.
After all we've been eating and drinking today?
And I can still bring my cat.
Sure. He takes you guys out and shows you to some very small rooms, but they have
Like
two
cots.
beds each set up, and they leave you guys to rest. And I think that is where we will end this episode.
Yeah.
Gosh dang.
Thanks everybody for joining us, and hope to see you again next time.